Owasso Ram football on the Owasso Sports Network is presented by the following sponsors: Trails Inn Barbecue, Sooner Mobile X-Ray, All Things Cake, 918 Doco, Tulsa Tech, Big Biscuit, 918 Family Wellness, Raising Cane's, Capstone Roofing, Robertson Tire, Charlie's Chicken, Keith 2 Hometown Insurance, Nothing Bundt Cake, Jersey Mike's, Tulsa Accident Care Center, Restoration Chiropractic, Waldo's Chicken, First United Mortgage, Shields, Maury Funeral Home, Brew Coffee, Oklahoma's Credit Union, Jim Glover Auto Family, Ascension St. John, Tulsa Bone and Joint, St. Francis, Eagle Window Tent, First Bank of Owasso.
Well, we blinked, and it's the final week of the regular season in Oklahoma high school football. And while they started the season with the two most difficult tests in the state of Oklahoma, the Owasso Rams have rattled off 7 straight wins in dominant fashion. Last week, the Rams shut down an athletic Norman North program on senior night to secure their second consecutive district title. And they look to finish the regular season strong tonight with a victory over the Yukon Millers. The road to the west side is always a test, and the Yukon Millers are much improved from last season. With a well-balanced offense and riding a 2-game win streak, confidence is high for the Millers. Led by a dual-threat quarterback in Will Jones and state high jump champion Daniel Yebbett at wide receiver, they have the ability simply to outrun and outjump defenses. But Owasso's defense is a different kind of monster for the Millers. In the Rams' 7-game win streak, they've allowed just 14 points a game and only 2.5 yards per carry. Owasso has already wrapped up a first-round bye in the playoffs, but they want to finish the regular season strong with a victory here tonight, improving their record over the Millers to 6-0 all-time. Kickoff is fast approaching, so after this break, we'll head to the locker room and chat with Owasso head coach Bill Blankenship. This is the First United Mortgage pregame show. You're watching Ram football on the Owasso Sports Network.
Hi, this is Ray Adcock with Christian Brothers Automotive in Owasso. This year marks 13 years since we opened the doors for business. You see, our family lives in Owasso, we own a business here, we attend church here, and all 4 of our kids have gone to school here. We live in this community too, and we fully expect that we'll see our customers again at the grocery store, at a local restaurant, or at a Friday night football game. We have a built-in accountability system to our customer base because we also do life in Owasso. So thank you for letting us serve your family by servicing your family car.
Life is always in our ear about opportunities, exploring them, seizing them, taking a moment to breathe them in. When speed is crucial and completion is the end goal.
We gotta move a little faster.
But sometimes completion isn't the end, but the next beginning. Tulsa's first, Tulsa's only, Level 1 Trauma Center.
Okay, gang, the game is tomorrow, and wait, where's Rambo? Has anybody seen Rambo? He's supposed to be here. Let's go find him. Come on, let's go. Come on, go find him.
Rambo? Rambo? Rambo?
Rambo, what are you doing? The game's tomorrow. You have to get ready. Coach B, we found him. You're gonna need to send help.
Rambo, are you kidding me? We got a season to play. You haven't been out here. Get that look off your face and let's get to work. This way. This way. That way. No, that way. That way. No, that way. God, come on, man. We got to get better.
Right? Left. No, that's wrong.
Okay, play. Here we go. Eyes on the ball. Oh, all right, almost. You got to have a great year. Come on, man. I need you. Let's go to work. Let's go. Fast. Whoop. Oh, okay. All right, well, you're good at other things.
We're back on the First United Mortgage pregame show and joined now by the head coach of the Owasso Rams, Bill Blankenship, who's coming off an impressive 45-14 victory over the Norman North Timberwolves on senior night there at Owasso Stadium. Coach, I know we felt pretty good going into that one, but, man, what a performance from the Owasso Rams.
Well, I thought our defense started early and played tough all through the night. Made life pretty miserable for the Norman North offense. And with that, our offense got untracked and started really spreading the ball around. And it was kind of a perfect night for a senior night to be able to share with a lot of seniors a lot of great memories.
Yeah, no doubt. You jump out to a 7-0 lead in the first quarter, in what could be a tight ball game there. And then you put up 28 points in the second quarter, and it's a 28-point ball game, 35-7 going into halftime. To really put it away, that was, that second quarter was a complete effort on all three sides of the football.
Yeah, special teams, we had really good returns from Noah Hill. Throws and catches, runs, defensive 3 and outs. I mean, I think you name it, things were going our way. And to finish up really well right before halftime, felt like we had all the momentum.
And now, I'm a stat nerd, and we have kept track of Jaden Hall's stats all season long. And up until this game, he has had a 100-yard rushing outing in every game, and our unofficial stats were right on that line. And so I was curious, Coach, what the official stats were, if you knew them off the top of your head. Can I count that as a 100-yard rushing game for Jaden?
Well, I saw it in the Tulsa World that it was, and so it has to be if you read it in the Tulsa World. Right. So, honestly, Jared, I'm not sure what the stats were. Coach Poteet's our statistician, and I haven't asked him about that this week. But I think we'll tip our hat to Jaden on another big big night. And the fact that Barry Lewis had it over 100, I think we'll call it good.
We'll take it. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground on just, I believe, 16 carries. So managing that workload here late in the season, which is good whenever you've got a workhorse back like Jaden is. Coach, before we take a look at tonight's matchup with Yukon, I want to go over some numbers, again, stat nerd, that speak kind of to the dominance of the Rams during this 7-game win streak that we have. And this could segue into our chat about the Millers and some of the things they might be able to do offensively. So if you'll indulge me for a moment, Coach, in the last 7 games, Owasso's defense has held opposing offenses to 218 yards per game and 2.5 yards per carry. That is a really good stat when you're looking at, the defensive front. That's less than 4 yards a snap if you look at all of their snaps, compared to 7.5 yards per snap for Owasso's offense. When you're outgaining teams by 250, 300 yards a game and winning the turnover battle, which you have in most of those games, you're going to have a pretty successful run.
There's no question. There are some statistics that always skew towards winning. The turnover battle is one of those. Rushing is rushing yardage, and rushing defended is certainly another big one. And so I do think that we're becoming a very, very good football team. you mentioned it in our summary of the Norman North game, but we're just playing much better in all three phases. I think special teams has been kind of quietly getting better for us and being able to steal some yardage and steal some scores. Defensively, though, we've just been pretty dominant in the last few weeks, and we're playing, I think, really complementary defense with our offense. We can play slow, we can play fast, but we're making it hard for the offenses, opposing offenses, to drive the ball. If you look at what has gotten us is, and it goes to Coach Neal's philosophy. They may trick us, they may get something, they may get a play, and our whole deal is to rally, get it down, and make them snap the ball again. And if we can make them keep snapping the ball, we've not had very many teams that could just consistently drive it on us.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the secondary here in a moment. I've got a question before that, Coach. But you brought up the special teams, and this is probably, at least maybe in your tenure, the most complete special teams unit that we've seen in 7 or 8 years at Owasso High School. You've got a kicking specialist in Juan Razo.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a complete athlete in Noah Hill who can punt it.
Right.
He can get away with fake punts. He can return kicks, which we saw. I think he had close to probably 100 yards of return yardage against Norman North. And then again, just great coverage on kickoffs. When you're able to kick it deep, you're able to, set up those lanes and go and pursue the kickoff returner. And I think the Rams have just done a really nice job all the way around in the special teams.
Well, it's been fun to watch them develop. I think Juan Razo is certainly the surprise highlight. Young man that had not played football before, but was an outstanding soccer player, and we've had that happen. But Juan has been just a treat. He has got a big time leg, which you see a lot on the kickoffs. Can get the ball to the end zone consistently. Even when he does it, it seems like they're fielding it on the 1 or 2 yard line, which again gives us opportunity with the team speed to get down and cover well. Noah has been consistent as a punter and also as a return man. We sprinkle in a little Tay Bethel now and then, and all of a sudden you got a dynamic return squad. The kickoff returns have gotten a little better, and again, because we're able to put so many athletes that the people that are trying to sky kick us and pooch kick us, they got to be a little cautious because of who's catching the ball, because if they don't do it just perfect, we might break one. So yeah, I love what our guys are doing right now.
Yeah, you might be, if it's a pooch kick, you might be kicking to Carter Langendorfer or Julius Wilson or somebody like that, which is a scary prospect for any kickoff team. Coach, I bring up all of these numbers over the last few minutes to say that this edition of the Yukon Millers, as we turn the page to this game tonight, they are much improved from seasons past. Mm-hmm. And they've got a few unique pieces to contend with. They've got a really solid dual threat quarterback and a state champion high jumper at wide receiver that, from what I've heard, can just jump into the stratosphere and go get footballs. They're very much improved over the Miller teams that we've seen in years past.
Well, Coach Barnes has done a really fine job of rebuilding the Millers. Yukon is a offensive, really offensive threat. They do a great job throwing the ball. They've got some familiar coaches to us. Brent Barnes was at Union for a while and is part of the program and head coaching at Norman North when the Stoops boys were coming through, and they had so much success there. He went out of state for a couple of years and then came back and has taken this program, and they're light years ahead of where they were 2 years ago when he got here. Lance Tigner's the offensive line coach. I've worked with Lance over at Union, and he's an outstanding coach, and they do a great job up front and will have an outstanding game plan when we come at. They will test our defense like we haven't been tested probably at least since the Memorial game.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to go back now, Coach, one of the most developed positions over the season for Owasso has been the secondary on the defensive side of the ball. We saw that last week, Coach, by limiting a 4-star Mason James and an outstanding tight end in Kolar. Each of those guys had 2 catches for 17 yards.
Yeah.
And, you think about a year ago, Mason James had almost 300 receiving yards against the Rams.
Right.
So to limit him and Kolar to just 2 catches and 17 yards each is tremendous. How have you felt about their development as a crew and game planning for the weekly passing threats that have been thrown their way and what will be thrown their way here tonight?
Well, our guys have been up to the challenge, and Coach Neal and his staff have put together excellent game plans. Don't let it be lost, though, that the Norman North squad came in as a very pass-oriented offense. Yeah. They really skewed percentage-wise towards the passing game, allowed us to do some things, with nickel and dime type coverages to put extra defensive backs back to try to manage against those outstanding players you mentioned. The challenge tonight with the Yukon Millers is that they're a lot more dual threat, not just in their quarterback, but they are trying to run the ball, and they're a little more of what I would call a shot-taking offense. So they're going to run the ball, then try to play action, hit you on some deep balls, and then they're decent, pretty good in the intermediate passing game, but without a doubt, their best part is throwing the ball deep.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch for sure, and I know that's one that we'll watch for, that deep ball. Coach, you get through this one, you can start game planning for the playoffs, which can be an easy thing to do when we're in this position. Already wrapped up a district title, but how are you keeping focus on this game? It's a district game, but it might not matter as much, on paper, but it's still an opportunity to, again, get better at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it probably sounds cliche-ish to fans, people that are not a part of the program, but our players have really bought in. They understand that while we're having to line up against Yukon tonight, the opponent is still the Owasso Rams. I mean, we're still trying to become the best team we can become. There's going to be different opponents each week, but what we have to do is to learn to execute and to play at a high level, to play fast all the time, to play with energy and intensity and focus. And those are kind of catchphrases, but that's how you become really an elite team. And I think we have taken steps that direction on tonight, coming off of a district clinching victory a week ago. This does not affect our playoff run, but as I spoke with the team, it does affect how we feel about ourselves and how prepared we are going in. So I still think this is a big game for us. I think it's an opportunity to use it as a springboard into the playoffs and to really be going into it with momentum.
No doubt, Coach. With that in mind, what is our Pathway Church pathway to victory here tonight?
Well, I think I kind of mentioned it from a defensive standpoint. I think it's going to be really big that we don't give up the over-the-top pass plays. If we can force them to drive the ball, I feel pretty good about our chances defensively. Offensively, it's a key is to getting our players the ball in space. We can probably run the ball, and I think we will, but it's really important that we get Jaden Hall and Noah and Julius and Tay all out in the perimeter and make a Yukon team that we think we outmatch them a little bit on the edges to have to tackle in space.
That's the Pathway Church Pathway to Victory, Coach. We appreciate the time as always, and we'll see you out there tonight.
All right. Thanks, Jared.
And we'll be back after this break to welcome in the voice of Owasso, Steve Mowry. Kickoff is just a few minutes away here on the First United Mortgage pregame show. You're watching Ram Football on the Owasso Sports Network.
This is Ray Adcock with Christian Brothers Automotive in Owasso. At Christian Brothers Automotive, we send you photos and videos and diagnostic equipment screenshots and follow that up with an explanation. Because film don't lie. A photo's worth 1,000 words, and seeing it is believing it. For us, being honest is paramount. Earning your trust is the most important thing to us. We may not have always gotten it right the first time, but we've always tried to be transparent about everything we've done. So thank you, Owasso, for letting us serve your family by servicing your family car.
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your order fresh right in front of you. And let me tell you, watching that can send a rush of emotions through a person. Excitement, impatience, baby-like wonder, indecisive, anticipatory chewing, nerves pacing, happy claps, and finally, jealousy, because that's this guy's sub. I should order one. Good idea. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Welcome into the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth here on the campus of Yukon High School, where the Owasso Rams are set to take on the Yukon Millers. Jared Gallagher with you, and we'd like to welcome in Steve Mowry, the voice of Owasso. Steve, nice drive down, beautiful weather here for Week 10. Final week of the regular season high school football.
Yeah, I mean, Jared, it couldn't be any better football weather than we have here this evening here in Yukon. Temperatures running around 60 degrees, very little wind going on here at the football field. Senior night here in Yukon, but the final game of the season, final district game here before the Rams make preparations for playoff football.
We are excited to get this one going here. The Owasso Rams 6-0 in district play have already wrapped up the District 2 championship for the second season in a row and have won 20 straight district games, Steve Mowry, dating all the way back to September of 2023, the last district loss coming at the hands of Union High School 2 seasons ago. So the Rams owning District 2 in Class 6A1 over the last couple of years, and again, looking for another perfect slate as they take on these Yukon Millers, who are much improved from the last couple of years that we've seen them, having been, I think they won 4 games in the last 2 seasons combined. They're 5-4 this season, 3-3 in district play, and still have playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, Coach Brent Barnes has done an outstanding job here in kind of revitalizing this program, and they are vying for playoff potential here, Jared. A big game last night between Union and Edmond Memorial, where Edmond Memorial defeated the Red Hawks 16-10, so that catapulted Edmond Memorial into the third place spot. Union sitting right now in fourth place in the district, and Yukon right behind them. So the Millers probably have a lot more of motivation in this game as far as district and playoff implications than do the Rams. But certainly Owasso coming in, you want to go into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. They've been playing great. I feel like this is a ball club that has really improved throughout the season from game 1 and 2 to where we are now. And the Rams look to be a stronghold on that number 3 ranking in Class 6A.
This is your First United Mortgage pregame show at First United Mortgage. They have solutions to meet your financing needs. Whether you're buying or building a home in Owasso, there are a number of lending options to provide you with the funds you need for the home you want. As we move along here in our First United Mortgage pregame show, Steve Mowry, this is a game, like you mentioned. The motivations might be a little bit different on either side of the football, but one thing is for certain, and we talked with Coach Blankenship about this, is that regardless of who you're playing or what the playoff scenario is or whether or not you've already wrapped up district play, you're playing yourself, and you're playing to get better each night that you have. You only have 10 opportunities in the regular season to get better, and this is another one of those here tonight.
Well, and that's the advantage of having a a head football coach with a lot of experience who has been here many, many times, and he knows how to motivate his ball club. And part of the message that he's relaying to his team is that, hey, we are playing against ourselves. Our job is to go 1-0 and get better each week. You want to prepare for your opponent, but not overlook what your job is to do. And really, this is one of those games, Jared, that if the Owasso Rams execute and do what they do, they should be fine and be able to end the season 8-2.
You know, one of those games that the Rams were able to prepare for well was last week against Norman North, senior night at Owasso Stadium. You know, we've seen those games, and you go back to last year, it was a 10-point game and 118 points scored combined, an absolute shootout. Mason James had nearly 300 receiving yards and 5 receiving touchdowns in that game. Owasso came in last week, held Mason James to 2 catches. Kolar to 2 catches, the big tight end, and just boat raced Norman North. Scored 28 points in a 4-minute span in the second quarter, and by that time the ball game was over. They won it 45-14, and so that's kind of what you're looking for here again tonight. You want to see that fierce, swarming mentality from the defense. You want to see a well-oiled offensive machine, and oh, by the way, go get some good field position with your special teams as well.
Well, that's exactly right, and I think that's an area where Yukon has maybe struggled throughout the season is in their special teams, whether it be the long, deep snaps or the execution of punting and kicking. So we'll see what the Rams can do to take advantage here tonight.
Let's take a 2-minute timeout for our national anthem. We'll come back with starting lineups and more. You're listening to Ram Football on the Owasso Sports Network.
All in all, there's not a better place to work.
Working at St. Francis is...
Working at St. Francis is...
Working at St. Francis is...
It's very fulfilling.
The work that we do is hard. The work that we do changes people's lives.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's a calling.
On today's edition of Owasso Rams Trivia, the category is food. Now, for our first question, what are the 4 food groups?
Milk, meat, fruit, and bread.
That's correct.
Wait, everyone in Owasso knows that Charlie's Chicken Chunks are so good. They might as well be their own food group.
Judges, are the chicken chunks at Charlie's that good? That settles it. Go see for yourself at Charlie's Chicken on 76th Street, just east of Highway 169.
We welcome you back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth, wherever you're watching from across the state of Oklahoma or around these beautiful United States. Maybe you're watching from Waldo's Chicken, the official watch party of Owasso football. Don't miss a moment of Owasso football all season long. Head to Waldo's Chicken and enjoy the action on 15 TVs paired with unbeatable specials all night long. Waldo's Chicken, the official watch party home of Owasso football. Jared Gallagher, Steve Mowry, Rob Williams on the statistics here tonight. Johnny Dash back producing the show here this evening, and a whole crew of students. Brock Crawford down here getting highlights as well. And Steve Mowry, as we look into our Jersey Mike's uniform report, we've got another good, clean look for the Owasso Rams tonight.
Well, actually, both teams here, Jared, where we're going to have predominantly red and white colors. As you look at Yukon coming out on the field, they're going to be in their red jerseys trimmed in white and a touch of black, if you will, white pants, and the black, white, and red stripe down the side of their pants. Their helmets are white with a red interlocking YM, and then the jersey number on the other side at a stripe down the middle. So kind of a really nice look for Yukon, but for Owasso, I really like this look here. The Rams in their road red jersey, or the road white jerseys with the red numerals, red pants with the double white stripe, and the traditional red Ram helmet with the white Ram horns, and it is a really good look here this evening as we see the captains coming out onto the field for the Rams. It'll be Brooks Barron, Tay Bethel, Colton Sudbeck, and then Jaden Hall. Jaden Hall, who has just really turned into be an outstanding running back for this Owasso ball club Jared, when you look at him and the job that he's done coming in with over 1,300 yards on the ground and 20 touchdowns on the season. I mean, this guy has really become the workhorse in the backfield for this offense.
Yeah, and really you can extend that back into last season, Steve, in the last 18 games. And you think last season he was sharing the carries with 2 other guys.
Yeah.
So really, excuse me, his carries were cut into a third last season. But if you go back 18 games, in those 18 games, he has 17 100-yard rushing performances. And over that time span, 2,600 rushing yards, 37 touchdowns on more than 8 yards a carry. So Jaden Hall has really developed into a strong, quick, and tough to bring down running back.
Well, and then you combine that with the skill players on the outside. Noah Hill, we don't know if we'll see him for sure here tonight, but you still have Julius Wilson, Colby Whiteman, Colton Sudbeck, and, of course, Tay Bethel. Julius Wilson has emerged as a real playmaker for the Rams, who you and I would agree started the season behind Noah Hill and Tay Bethel essentially, but he has really come out to the top. In fact, this week, I believe he committed to Oklahoma State University. So someone caught the eye of the explosive Julius Wilson. And sometimes with that, Tay Bethel, who probably made one of maybe the greatest catch all season by any Ram receiver with that diving catch
last week
into the end zone. And, of course, you add the other receivers in there as well. Very dynamic, Colton Sudbeck at the H. And my most exciting part about the offense, Jared, is this offensive line. Because if things don't go right, if you can't get any momentum going, I think Coach Blankenship knows he can always reach back in his hip pocket and run the football behind this big offensive line, and that includes big linemen up front and moving Elon Reagan into the backfield. And so far, nobody's really found an answer to be able to stop the Ram running game.
Yeah, absolutely. The ground and pound is what you have to establish. But I want to go back to that receiving threat. I mean, you look at Julius Wilson through this year, 38 catches, almost 700 yards, and 8 touchdowns to the ground. Tay Bethel supplementing that with 5 touchdowns of his own, and Noah Hill doing what he does as well. He was tremendous in the return game last week, so hopefully we can see him tonight. If not, get him healthy and get better, because the Rams have already secured the bye week for next week, the first round of the playoffs, and we will be back at home on November 21st, if I have my calendar correct, back at Owasso Stadium for round 2 of the Class 6A1 playoffs. Moving along here in our first United Mortgage pregame show, Steve, let's take a look at our State Farm agent Casey Miller's starting lineups here tonight. It's going to be a lot of the same for the Owasso Rams. That's one thing that we've done really well this year, for the most part, is stayed healthy.
Yeah, we've been real fortunate in that area. Tonight, as we talked about up front on that offensive line at left tackle, it'll be Brooks Barron, the senior. At left guard, Elon Reagan, the junior. At center, Hunter Goodnow, a junior. Right guard is Darrell Green, a senior, and right tackle is Sean Kellogg, a junior. And then the skill positions you've got at wide receiver, as we mentioned, Takari Bethel. You'll also see Noah Hill possibly in the game tonight. We're probably actually going to see Colby Whiteman along with Julius Wilson. The H is Colton Sudbeck. The running back, Jaden Hall, we may see some of Chris Safaris, and if the Rams are able to get a lead, we'll see B.J. Crisp. And the quarterback, Drew Frankenfield, a 6'2", 205-pound junior. On the defensive side, on the defensive line, it'll be Taj Overton, who has just been exploding the last couple of games, along with Christian Turner, who sometimes gets hidden in the shadows of Taj Overton, but he has really come on strong here this second half of the season. Ben Duggins at the nose guard. The linebackers are Chris Safaris, Ryder Karn, and Cam Miller. Those two guys have been doing outstanding. The corners are A.J. Roberts and Jackson Suggs. And at the safeties will be Sam Hoback, Peyton LeGrand, and Carter Langendorfer.
It's your State Farm agent Casey Miller's starting lineup. For surprisingly great rates on home, auto, and life insurance, visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in Owasso. The Owasso Rams will receive the opening kickoff, look to put their mark on the scoreboard first, as Julius Wilson is deep to receive. Excuse me, that's Tay Bethel deep to receive for the Owasso Rams.
Kicking off for the Yukon Millers will be Jonathan Haxton. Senior night here at Yukon. as we mentioned, and we look at the flags, Jared, I mean, the United States flag is not moving at all. You and I were down on the field earlier in pregame, and it is literally perfect football weather here. You couldn't draw it up any better than what we have here this evening. So the Rams preparing to receive this kickoff as Haxton will get the ball teed up. Tay Bethel is back deep. Let's see what the Millers choose to do in the kickoff. Will Bethel get an opportunity for the return? Haxton with a low squib kick, and it's picked up by Bethel. Tries to come to the left and jumps across the 35-yard line to near the 38, where the Rams will start 1st and 10.
First quarter brought to you by First Church of Owasso, where we love Jesus and love like Jesus. Visit First Church with 3 worship times on Sundays or online at firstchurchok.com. And once again, a big thanks to First United Mortgage, our pregame show sponsor here tonight and every night on every Owasso football broadcast here on the Owasso Sports Network. Rams set up at the 37-yard line.
Hand off to Jaden Hall up the middle, and he's going to be hit. Get a gain of about 2. That'll move the ball up near the 39-yard line, 2nd and 8 here on the play. I think the man we have to look for on defense, Jared, is going to be the linebacker, Destry Lujan.
Yeah, the Mike linebacker, very experienced.
Frankenfield, quick throw out to the left, but before the play can take place, a flag on the far side of the field. That'll be a procedure call against Owasso and back the Rams up 5 yards. And, Jared, that's probably the one thing that we really haven't seen Owasso be able to get control of this season is the number of penalties, multiple games with double-digit penalties.
Yeah, double-digit penalties, more than 100 yards on several, thank you very much, several games as well in penalty yardage. So definitely something you want to clean up come playoff time.
Now the Rams will go with 3 receivers over to the right side. Julius Wilson in single press coverage here on the near side. I think Drew Frankenfield probably sees that. That's something Julius Wilson can run over the top of the. That's where Frankenfield's going to go. Wilson behind the defense couldn't quite get his hands on the football. The play was there, just unable to bring in the catch was Wilson.
Yeah, the corner, Trendon Turner, he was right there alongside Wilson. He kept with him nicely, but again, with Wilson's length and ability to create space, I'd like to see him make that catch.
Rams line up quickly in the same formation. Frankenfield, good protection, throw over to the right side underneath, and it's just out of the outstretched arms of Tay Bethel, falls incomplete, out of bounds. And a 3 and out for Owasso here on their first series.
You always hear Coach Blankenship talking about wanting to strike early. Obviously not what you're looking for, 3 and out on your first drive.
So Malachi Thomas will be the punter here tonight for the Rams with Noah Hill on the sideline. That may change some of the dynamic that the Rams have on punt team. Nice snap. Thomas with a nice high punt. Hits at about the 33-yard line, takes a Ram bounce inside the 25, where the Yukon Millers will start 1st and 10, just inside their own 25-yard line. 10:59 to go here in this first quarter. No score in our contest. Ram defense will come out onto the field. As we mentioned, Owasso winning that game last week over Norman North, 45-14.
Yeah, and the Rams' 7-game winning streak, and one of the reasons why is because this defense has really bowed up over those last 7 games. They're allowing just 218 yards a game, and within that, only 69 rushing yards a game on 2.5 yards a carry.
So Yukon on the offensive. Jones, quick throw out to the left. The catch is made, and so is the tackle on the far side of the field. Catch by Daniel Yebbett.
believe that was Ryder Karn that got to him first, was able to hang on kind of with that arm tackle until some support was able to come, and they were able to gang tackle him to the ground.
Gain of 7 on the play. Ball spotted at the Yukon 31-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 3. Jones, another quick throw out to the left. It's Yebet again. A lot of cushion on that side. His catch is made. He gets near the 40-yard line before he's tackled there by A.J. Roberts, and that'll be enough for a Miller first down.
We mentioned at pregame, Steve, Daniel Yebet, a state champion high jumper in Class 6A for these Yukon Millers, jumped 6 foot 10 inches was his state champion jump, his championship jump last season.
So 1st and 10 Millers from their own 38-yard line. Jones, as the defense moves, handoff up the middle, and no, it's going to be Jones on the keeper trying to get to the outside, and a nice tackle by Carter Langendorfer to come up in open space, and Langendorfer secures the tackle.
And Steve, Wyatt Jones is a running threat. He's a good dual threat quarterback here for the Millers. 2nd on the team in rushing yardage this season. So on those read options, you've got to really be aware of where Wyatt Jones is.
So a gain of 7 on the play brings up 2nd and 3. Jones, handoff up the middle, met in the backfield by Ben Duggins, and down he goes.
Oh, my.
A big tackle for loss by the big nose guard, Ben Duggins.
Ben Duggins showing off. Steve, he's got 18 family members in the crowd here tonight.
Unbelievable.
And what a way to get started for Ben Duggins, the senior.
He was there as soon as the handoff was made, and there was nowhere to go for the running back Shelburne. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Millers. See if the Ram defense can get a stop and get off the field. Now the Rams showing pressure. Jones in the pocket, looks to his left. Under pressure, and he's hit hard by Christian Turner. No, it's Zafaris who hit the quarterback. The ball came loose. And Yukon is able to recover, but what a shot by Chris Zafaris in the backfield.
Oh, man. Welcome to the show, Chris Zafaris. He's ready to play. Ball comes loose, and they're able to jump on it. But, man, talk about a turn of events there after allowing a first down.
I mean, you're looking at a 2nd and 4, and now you're looking at a 4th and 16.
Goodness.
So Tay Bethel will go back to receive the punt. He'll set up at the Ram 27-yard line. Haxton, the punter. Good snap. Here comes pressure. He gets the punt off. It's a line drive punt. Bethel fields it on the hop. Tries to cut up the middle. Too many red shirts as he's taken down at the Ram 39-yard line. So the Ram offense will come back out on the field and start 1st and 10. 7:49 to go here in this first quarter, and no score in our contest.
And, Steve, we talk about our Pathway Church pathway to victory and with Coach Blankenship, and he talks about playing within yourselves, right? Getting better, limiting those mistakes, and doing what we do best to establish dominance. We'll see if the Rams can do that here on their 2nd drive of the game.
So the Rams come out with 2 receivers left. Bethel in the slot, 1 receiver over to the right. Direct snap to Hall. He runs up the middle, got a little bit of room, pushes forward through the defender. He is near the first down marker, but he will be just shy. And that will bring up a 2nd and 1.
And the usually patient Jaden Hall there busted through the line of scrimmage and hit that second line, those linebackers, before they knew that he was coming.
Now they're going to reset the football near the Owasso 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and a long 1. Hall to the right of Frankenfield. Frankenfield in the pocket. Good protection. Throws over to the right side looking for Julius Wilson. He goes up and makes the catch, and then fighting for more yardage near the 10-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. Julius Wilson just would not be denied, and then we have a flag after the play, and that may be against the Rams.
Well, Julius Wilson motioned for the first down. He said, hey, first down marker, come on down here, and guess that's not going to fly here on the west side.
Coach Blankenship not pleased with that penalty. You know, you and I have mentioned on a couple of occasions The Rams have got to play smart, and you just said play within themselves.
But what a catch there from Julius Wilson right over the top of the defender, showing why he's a Division I prospect.
So the Rams still looking at a 1st and 10. The ball will be spotted at the, well, it looked like it was going to be the 26, but they're going to mark it back further.
They just do another personal foul.
So a personal foul against Owasso. So we had unsportsmanlike conduct and then an offside or procedure. It'll be 1st and 15. Hall to the outside, gets to the 15-10, 5, touchdown Owasso Rams as Jaden Hall is able to break the edge and get to the end zone, and the Rams take the first lead of the game.
That's how you get those penalty yardages back right there. He had a huge hole to run through, and he was able to hit that, get to the outside, and it was gonzo for Jaden Hall.
So the penalties did not come back to haunt the Rams as Hall was able to burst through, get to the end zone. Rams are leaving their offense out on the field. I guess they said he stepped out of bounds, Jared, as Hall gets it this time and runs to the end zone.
Well,
a lot of confusion going on out on the field right now. It looked as though they had given him a touchdown, but it took an extra play for Jaden Hall to run the football in. He gets it anyway. And now the Rams lead 6-0.
Well, instead of a 31-yard touchdown rush, it's about a 5-yard touchdown rush, but we'll take it either way.
On for the extra point attempt is Juan Razzo. Coach Blankenship excited about the job that he's done, and his kick is up through the uprights, and it is good with 6:43 to go. Here in this first quarter, it's Owasso 7, Yukon 0. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it loving others. Spend it knowing you're loved. Spend it nourishing your body. Spend it strengthening your soul. Spend it planning out every little detail. Spend it knowing you're part of a bigger plan. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth. The Owasso Rams taking an early 7-0 lead here with 6:43 to play in the first quarter. This first Church of Owasso first quarter of action on the back of a, what was that, Rob, a 5-yard touchdown rush? A 9-yard touchdown rush, excuse me, by Jaden Hall. And he has come to play once again here for the Owasso Rams after a really nice defensive stop of the Yukon Millers. The Rams able to get the ball moving.
That was spurred, the defensive play was spurred by Chris Ferris, sack of the quarterback, and the ball coming loose. And a good job by this Ram offense. Juan Razzo to kick it up for the Rams. He'll kick one high, and it'll be fielded at the 7-yard line, out to the 20, and then the tackle made near the 23-yard line. Joey Grable in on the tackle that time for Owasso, and the Millers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. So the Rams able to cover 61 yards in 4 plays. That only took 1 minute and 6 seconds. Jaden Hall able to finish that off with another touchdown run for him on the season. And the Ram defense back out on the field. Jones, the quarterback for the Millers. He'll take the snap, looking out into the left flat, finds his running back, some room over the right side. There's a block in the back, no flag on the play before Shelburne is run out of bounds.
And just before that block in the back, Steve, I was thinking, man, there's some really nice wide receiver blocks out there on the edge. But you're right.
So Yukon able to move the chains. 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Yukon being very methodical in their play calling here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shelburne, the running back behind Jones. He'll take the handoff, run left, and there is nowhere to run there as Taj Overton followed him out to the flat. Also in on the tackle, Sam Hoback. For a loss of 1 on the play, that'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Steve, for us, it becomes a game of when do opponents abandon the run game? Because over the last 7-8 games now, this run defense for the Owasso Rams has been lights out.
Taj Overton can stay with most running backs. Good speed there at defensive end. 2 receivers to the right. Fake the handoff, play action, throw across the middle. Open receiver is Yebbett, and he is cut in half. What a hit, and a flag comes out late. Robertson Hoback. I'll be interested to see what this flag is for. That looked like a nice defensive play by the Owasso defense. Referees will confer and talk this over.
You're right, Steve. Yebbett was bent over backwards by Sam Hoback there.
It looked to be an awkward hit, but not anything illegal, Jared. Coach Blankenship, he wants an explanation. Personal foul against the Rams. That will add 15 yards on the play. I don't think Coach Blankenship agrees with this infraction.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure I do either. It was a big hit, but I don't know that it was a dirty hit, Steve.
And you're right. It was one of those, he was hit awkwardly. He bent in an awkward fashion, but there was nothing about it with any type of malice. In any case, the penalty moves the ball down to the Rams' 27-yard line, 1st and 10 Millers. Two receivers here to the near side. Handoff here to the near side, slips a tackle and brought down inside the 25-yard line near the 23. Ryder Karn in on the tackle. Shelburne very shifty, able to spin for extra yardage. They'll actually mark the ball just near the 29-yard line, 2nd and 7. 4:25, clock rolling here in this first quarter. Jones with the snap. He'll go out to the left side, breaks a tackle. He's got some room. Tried to get to the edge, but coming up to make the tackles, Cole Campbell. There is a flag on the far side of the field.
Yeah, we're going to have a holding on the edge there, as I believe it was Christopher Ferris trying to get out to make the tackle.
That'll be a big penalty against the Millers.
Been really impressed with Jones' ability on the read option. I mean, he can hide that football well.
It takes a moment to see who really is running with the football. Very deceptive, but that time some extra help with the hold, and that'll back the Millers back to the 29-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and we'll call it 12.
Watch this here, Steve, as Yebbett is back into the game. He's going to be guarded by Cole Campbell on the far side.
Jones in the pocket, rolls out to his right. He's got some room, looking downfield under pressure, throws the football, and That was just a nice catch by the receiver, Zayden Khalil. The pass was actually behind him, but Khalil made a great effort to reel in the catch.
Nice
coverage
athletic
there as well by the Rams.
Yeah, good coverage, but a better catch there by Khalil. And we've got a first down and 10 at the 13-yard line of the Owasso Rams.
So the Millers able to overcome that large down and distance. Jones trying to call the Rams offside, and it works as the defensive line unable to hold their water, and a free 5 yards for the Millers.
He was able to get Ben Duggins and Christian Turner to jump on that one, and unfortunately, if they catch you in that neutral zone, you're going to get 5 yards.
The Millers coming off back-to-back wins over Norman North and Edmond Santa Fe. Handoff up the middle, and that was a mistake as, again, in on the tackle is Chris Safaris. Filled the gap, and there was nowhere for the running back Shelburne to go but down.
Well, fortunately for the Rams, Wyatt Jones didn't have any options there because Ryder Karn was in his face. Chris Safaris was in the face of the running back, and good stop there by the Rams.
So that'll bring up 2nd and goal. Jones looks over to the side. Now he'll try to recall the play. He looks at the play clock. It's down to 2 seconds, and Coach Brent Barnes is going to have to take a timeout with 2:19 to go here in this first quarter. It's Owasso leading Yukon 7-0.
The Folds of Honor exists to meet sacrifice with hope. When U.S. service members and first responders are killed or disabled, the Folds of Honor steps in with life-changing scholarships for their spouse and children. This noble mission holds the power to unite Americans. As we link arms and pledge our unwavering support to those who protect our freedom and our families. Join us.
.219 to play here in the first quarter of action. The Owasso Rams leading the Yukon Millers 7-0. And we've got I believe, 2nd down, is that right? And 5 or so for the Millers inside the Rams' 10-yard line. We'll see if this Rams defense can buck up and get a stop here.
That's right, Jared. I think I said 2nd and goal, but they can get a first down. As handoff on the right side, and nothing doing that time. Ben Duggins and Chris Safaris once again in on the tackle of Shelburne. A short, if any, gain on the play brings up 3rd down. They're going to call it 3rd and 4, so a big down here for the Rams.
And a big 3rd down here early on. Rams can get off the field with 3 or even 0 points. That would be best case.
Yukon likes to be very deliberate as they run the play clock down, looking over to the sideline. Now they'll break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. Jones fakes the handoff, looking in the end zone. He throws over the middle, and it's just over the outstretched arm of his receiver. I'm not sure if it was caught, if he would have been in bound anyway. That was intended for his tight end, Brian Campbell. Good coverage by the Rams secondary.
Yeah, a little crossing pattern there. They had Yebbett over the middle and Campbell coming over to the near side corner. But both were covered very well by the Rams.
So a big 4th down here for the Millers. Coach Barnes will leave his offense out on the field. The one thing you can't do here, Jared, is jump offside. Pistol formation. Now the running back moves over to the left. Jones in the pocket, looks over to his left, and the ball
I thought that hit the turf.
I thought it hit the turf as well, but they're going to say the completion was made. The catch was made by Eli Kinley, and that'll bring up a 1st and goal from the 2, maybe the 3-yard line. No, they're going to say the 2. So Yukon able to convert a 4th down. And they're going to try to tie this game. Shelburne moves to the left. Takes the handoff. He's wrapped up. Taj Overton came off that right edge and buried Shelburne immediately. No gain on the play. Also Christian Turner in on the tackle. Second down at the 2-yard line. 35 seconds to go in this first quarter. And Jared, part of the strategy of Yukon might be to slow this game down.
Yeah, shorten the game.
Jones, another handoff to the big man Lujan up the middle, and he's a hard man to stop as he's into the end zone for the 2-yard touchdown. Linebacker, running back, as he's able to punch it into the end zone for the Millers. Now the extra point attempt by Haxton. His kick is up, and it is good. 19 seconds to go in this first quarter, and we are tied at 7 between Owasso and Yukon. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
My experience coming to the dealership was very friendly, very supportive, and they treated me like family, treated me like just one of their own. They made it pretty easy to learn how to buy a truck for like a first-time car owner. Knowing that I have a place where my truck will be taken care of by some great people over there, it makes me feel pretty good.
I've been here different times of the day. Mornings, everybody's kind of getting up, but everybody, when I've walked in, has a smile on their face. Afternoon, it seems like the smile never went away. Coming somewhere where it's honest and friendly and you become part of a family when you buy here and they understand your needs.
Find your new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram during the Make This the Summer event only at Jim Glover Dodge.
Those penalties that cost the Rams on that last drive as they give up a 12-play, 77-yard touchdown drive capped off by the 2-yard Destry Lujan touchdown rush to tie this game up at 7. 19 seconds to play here in the first quarter, brought to you by First Church of Owasso.
A squib kick as it bounces up in the air, and the Rams hands team was ready to recover the football. They'll get good starting field position at their own 43-yard line, 1st and 10. So let's see if Owasso is going to be able to respond. Tied at 7 with 15 seconds to go here in this first quarter. I think the biggest thing about that drive, Jared, is it did take off 6 minutes and 18 seconds of clock.
Yeah, that's half the entire quarter right there. So you can see what the Miller game plan is going to be offensively.
Handoff to Hall as he gains about 5 off the left side. And that will bring us down to the end of this first quarter. Come back for second quarter action. We're tied at 7 between Owasso and Yukon. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Casey Miller.
Hola, yo soy Casey Miller.
You guys are ridiculous. Hi, I'm Casey Miller, your dedicated insurance agent. Our team recognizes the significance of clear communication and tailored service. In addition to our expert services, we have Spanish-speaking options and cater to individuals from all walks of life. Our aim is to ensure that every step of your insurance experience is smooth and stress-free. Contact us today at 918-272-8888 for a personalized insurance experience, where excellence in service meets the diverse needs of our clientele.
We welcome you back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. Jared Gallagher, Steve Mowry with you here So we move to the second quarter of action, brought to you by First Church of Owasso. And we'll take a look at our first quarter numbers here for the Owasso Rams. 5 rushes for 48 yards, so nearly 10 yards a carry for the Rams. 1 of 3 passing for that big pass play, 41 yards to Julius Wilson. That's 89 total yards for the Owasso Rams. For Yukon, 10 rushes for just 4 yards, but they were 6 of 7 through the air for 71 yards. That's 75 total yards. Time of play, Steve, Owasso 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Yukon 9 minutes and 34 seconds. And the other big piece of this, penalties, 5 for 45 yards for the Owasso Rams, just 1 for 10 for the Yukon Millers. Those are your first quarter stats. And again, we saw some really good things there from the Owasso Rams. Offensively, they were able to move the ball there in that second drive. Defensively, on the first drive, we're able to stalwart the Yukon offense. Ben Duggins with a big hit on the running back. Chris Safaris with a massive fumble-causing sack to get off the field. But there on the second drive for the Owasso Ram defense, a couple of penalties where they were able to back up the Rams deep into their own territory, and Destry Lujan was able to punch in a 2-yard game-tying touchdown. So that's how we stand here. The Rams with the ball just shy of midfield. It's going to be a 2nd down and 5 as we get this second quarter started.
And the Rams have had games where they've started out slow, so we'll see if they can get some momentum, some rhythm going back on their side. Frankenfield fakes the throw out to the right. He's going to run back to the left. He's got some room and some good blocking, but he's hitting the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. I think that was a busted play from the beginning, and Frankenfield tried to make something out of it, and he just couldn't quite get to the outside. I thought he had an opportunity, but he took a good shot from the defense that time. Adam Goki in on the tackle.
A loss of a yard or 2, so it's a 3rd down and medium.
Call it 3rd and 7. Frankenfield in the pocket. Looks over to his right. He's got Julius Wilson wide open at the Yukon 40-yard line, and he almost broke a second tackle. He had Green all the way to the end zone, but he's brought down just inside the 40. It'll be a first bank of Owasso, 1st and 10 for the Rams.
Julius Wilson pointing for another first down. Got me a little nervous there, Steve.
Empty backfield, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Frankenfield takes the snap, quick throw out to the right. Tay Bethel gets the catch, good blocking, gets to the outside across the 30, drugged down near the 27-yard line. That'll be enough for another first bank of Owasso, 1st and 10. And the Ram offense is rolling right now.
Yeah, I like the way they're moving the ball. Like this pace of play for the Rams. You do want to give your defense a little breather, though. They were on the field for a long time in the first quarter.
Frankenfield, hand off to Hall, tries to go left and cuts back inside, found some room near the 20-yard line. Before he's finally tackled there, Eland Reagan loses his helmet, so he'll have to come out for a play.
And that's just, again, the patience of Jaden Hall right there. He got bottled up for a second, but didn't lose his mind. He didn't freak out there in the middle of that pile. He was able to find some space and go get 7 yards on first down.
So 2nd and 3. Ball spotted at the Yukon 21-yard line. Hall lines up to the right of Frankenfield. He'll take the handoff, run out to the left side, and he's knocked out of bounds short of the first down marker. Coming up to make the tackle is Zayden Khalil.
A lot of two-way players here for the Millers, Steve. We'll see if this offensive line can wear on them a little bit. We've really seen some success in the second half of games, just out-conditioning other teams.
3rd and 2 from the 20-yard line. Bethel in motion right to left. Now he'll come back to the near side. Hand off to Hall. Goes off left side, and again, he's hit immediately. And I'm not sure he got enough, and there's a late flag as Eland Reagan was knocked down after the play. Trevor Basabi, I know, you and I are thinking the same thing. The defender hit Eland, but Jared, it's hard for a guy 175 to knock over a man that's 350, but okay.
Elon
we'll take it.
Elon earned that one for the Owasso Rams, and credit to him. And now it's a first down and goal, so we'll take it.
From the 10-yard line, Hall in the backfield. Frankenfield in the pocket. Looks over to his right. Pulls the ball down. Tries to run upfield. Inside the 10. Takes a pretty good shot from the defense. We don't like to see him take those kind of hits.
And that's 2 shots that he's taken on this drive alone, Steve. So got to watch out for that.
These 2 linebackers for Yukon are very good, especially Lujan. We saw him last year. He's also a wrestler for the Millers. 2nd and goal from the 9. Hand off to Hall up the middle. Cuts back to the right, inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. So a good job again by Hall, tackled by Holiday. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Not sure what our down
and distance is here, Jared. Was there a penalty on the play?
There must have been. They're moving
got a flag
the Rams
here
back
on the near side. They're going to say procedure against the Rams. And again, Jared, the offense continues to just shoot themselves in the foot and give momentum back to the opponent. Now you're looking at a 2nd and 14. Frankenfield looks to the left as we approach 9 minutes to go here in this 2nd quarter. Frankenfield in the pocket, good protection. He throws it out to Hall. One-handed catch behind the back. Stays in bounds. Tiptoes into the end zone. I'm looking for a signal before I call it, but it's a touchdown, Jaden Hall.
Wow, Steve Mowry. Wow. The tightrope walk that Jaden Hall just did on the far sideline was remarkable.
Yeah, the referee on the far side, I don't think he was sure and was looking back here at the goal line for help and finally walked down from the 9-yard line to the pylon and signaled touchdown as Juan Razzo will come out and attempt this extra point. His kick is up, and it's good. With 8:49 to go here before halftime, the Rams retake the lead 14-7 over the Yukon Millers. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Hey, I'm Keith 2, your hometown insurance guy. You know, insurance doesn't have to be confusing or boring. So if your car decides to tango with a shopping cart or your home springs a leak, I'm the guy you want to call. In fact, I'm so confident I can save you money on your current auto insurance that if I can't, I'll give you $25. Yep, you heard me right. $25 straight from my pocket to yours. So when life throws you a curveball, don't stress. Just call me, Keith 2, at 918-928-4545 or visit me online at owassoinsuranceguy.com. Let us help you get the insurance you need and deserve for your family. Go Rams!
Steve Mowry, we've got a new magic man in the house, and his name is Jaden Hall. What a tightrope walk there by the Owasso Rams starting running back for the 14-yard touchdown catch and getting the Rams back into the lead, 14-7 here, 8:49 to play in the 2nd quarter.
Razzo will kick it off for the Rams. And he'll kick it deep over toward the left side where it's into the end zone for the touchback. So Yukon will begin 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Well, it was 9 plays covering 57 yards in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And as you mentioned, Jaden Hall with his 2nd touchdown of the night, 14-yard touchdown run after the penalty. Point after is good. 8:49 on the clock. It's Owasso 14, Yukon 7. And Jared, right now, you need your defense to come up with a big play and a big stop. Yukon on their last drive able to cover 77 yards in 12 plays, 6 minutes and 18 seconds. I mean, if you're the Millers, that's exactly how you draw it up.
Yeah.
If you're the Rams, you got to find a way to get a stop and get the football back.
Yeah.
The longer you let a team like this hang around, the more confidence they get. Jones in the pocket, and he's going to be wrapped up and thrown to the ground in the backfield. Christian Turner with the sack.
And it's just holding the ball for way too long if you're White Jones.
Well, and good coverage by the Rams secondary as he had nowhere to go with the football. Turner just fought his way through and then actually threw the quarterback down. That's going to be a big loss on the play for the Millers, back to their own 13-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 17. And this is exactly the situation you want your defense to put the Miller offense in. Jones in the pocket, looking downfield, lofts one up high down the middle of the field, and the ball is tipped around by Yebbett. But Roberts, there in coverage, forces an incompletion.
Yeah, A.J. Roberts Jr., a bit on his heels there toward the end. He ended up falling down on the play, but
I think maybe both receiver and defender begin to fall. Incomplete pass stops the clock at 7:52. Now a big 3rd down. Here's your play, Jared, to get your defense off the field.
That's right.
Rams going with essentially 3 deep. They'll hand the ball off to the Millers, and not much there on the ground. Chris Safaris in on the tackle. Taj Overton coming up, Joey Grable as well, and that will force Yukon into a punting situation. That's how you drew it up. Score a touchdown, 3 and out. Tay Bethel back deep to receive the punt.
That's exactly what you needed for this Ram defense, and it all started with Christian Turner fighting his way through. I mean, Wyatt Jones held onto the ball for 4 or 5 seconds. That's plenty of time to get rid of it, but credit to Christian Turner for getting back there and getting the sack.
Haxton with a nice high punt. Bethel comes up and makes a fair catch right at the Miller 40-yard line. So again, Jared, you get the kick into the end zone by Razzo. Yukon starts 1st and 10 at their own 20. Good defensive pressure. Then you get the penalty, the sack on Yukon, and that forces them into a punting situation. But very important that Tay Bethel makes that fair catch.
Oh, absolutely. He's in, it's not a very long punt there. It's only about a 26-yard punt from the line of scrimmage. That means that the defenders are going to be right up on you to make that catch. It was a little off balance, but credit to Tay Bethel on making that fair catch.
Frankenfield in the pocket, throws to his left, finds Tay Bethel. He cuts back inside on the bubble screen, tries to spin inside the 40-yard line. He ran a long way for a gain of maybe 1 yard.
And that's one of those situations there, Steve, where if you're able to get one more block or maybe a cleaner block earlier on, that's a play that you can house for 6 points. Unfortunately, the Rams not able to set up their blocks well enough there.
2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Frankenfield with 2 receivers out to the right. Quick throw out to the right. Tay Bethel looking for a block. Cutting inside. There's a face mask, but no penalty on the play. I don't know how you missed that.
Wow, the white hat and the side judge right there watching as Tay Bethel gets thrown to the ground after the play, but his head got yanked all the way around, Steve. How do you miss that?
I'm not sure if they did not grab the face mask or what, but you're right, Jared. We could see him twist the horns around as we look at the replay. Yeah, that was an absolute face mask that was missed. So it'll bring up 3rd and 11. And the Rams able to get Yukon to jump offside as the nose guard.
He's not very happy with himself,
He's not happy
Steve.
with himself. No, that is Davion Smith, and he jumped right over the football, over the center. And so it'll be a free 5 yards for Owasso.
And now, Steve, I think you're in 4-down territory here. If you're able to get 3 or 4 yards, you're going to be close enough to the sticks to go make this 4-down territory.
Ball at the Yukon 36-yard line. Frankenfield. Hand off to Hall on the right side. Gets a good block. Breaks the edge. Across the 30. Stumbles as he is going to have enough for a First Bank of Owasso 1st and 10. And the Rams able to overcome that long down and distance with help from the penalty.
And that was Connor Cannon, the Will linebacker, able to get just a fingertip on Jaden Hall's shoestrings. But great job there by Jay Hall to convert for the first down.
1st and 10 Rams, 3 receivers out to the left. Julius Wilson here on the near side. Frankenfield in the pocket, under pressure, cuts up the middle, and he's just caught by one leg, or he really has some running room. A nice tackle that time defensively. Couldn't tell who that was for sure, Jared, but Frankenfield had a lot of room if he's able to break the tackle of Ethan Garrett.
Yeah, Ethan Garrett, the junior defensive end, and I'm not so sure that Frankenfield didn't see him because his right tackle's so big, Steve. He was covered up.
Frankenfield hands off to Hall up the middle, tripped up again, and a flag on the play as a Yukon defender loses his helmet. Hall loses his shoe, and the referee will give us the penalty indication here. I believe it's going to go against Owasso. That's usually hands to the face. Try to find our microphone. There he is.
Well, no I assume it's hands to the face because his helmet popped off. But we're not very descriptive on our penalty calls here tonight. But
that'll back the Rams up past the 40-yard line.
Man, that's a big penalty, Steve.
7 penalties here in the first half for 65 yards, Jared. And those are things, as you get into the playoffs, those can be hard to overcome. Frankenfield in the pocket. He is retreating deeply. It's going to be a screen on the left side to Hall. He's got blockers out in front. Cuts inside. Back outside the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Owasso Rams. What a play call by offensive coordinator Josh Blankenship.
And Steve Mowry, the blocking downfield from the Owasso Rams is what set up that touchdown right there. I don't know if you saw it. There were like 3 pancakes in a row down the field, Steve. And Jaden Hall doing what he does to get it in the end zone for 6.
3rd touchdown of the night for Jaden Hall. And Juan Razzo on for the extra point attempt. Bryson Francis with the hold. Awaits the snap. Gets the go-ahead. Snap is back. Hold is down. Kick is up. And it is good with 4:32 to go on an outstanding run with good blocking. Jaden Hall extends the Ram lead 21-7 here over Yukon. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
When it's time to celebrate a sweet Owasso Ram victory, nothing will do quite like Nothing But Cakes. From personal buntlets to individual bunttinis for the entire team, you'll discover a bunt load of flavor for every occasion. Visit Nothing But Cakes in Owasso, located in the Smith Farm Marketplace. Nothing But Cakes, proud supporter of Owasso Athletics.
Jaden Hall once again doing Jaden Hall things as we welcome you back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. It's second quarter, brought to you by First Church, and the Owasso Rams extending their lead to 21-7. And that touchdown drive, 5 plays, 40 yards, capped off because of the penalties by a 41-yard touchdown reception by Jaden Hall. And all the credit, in my opinion, on that touchdown run goes to the blocking downfield. It was absolute money.
Razzo will kick off for Owasso, and this kick will go bouncing into the end zone for the touchback. Once again, a long field for the Millers as they will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
We'll see what the Rams can do here. And, you know, we've had 3 offensive drives for the Yukon Millers, 2 really good defensive stops by the Rams, 2 3-and-outs. No, I'm sorry, that first drive went, 5 plays, 6 plays, something like that. They got a first down, but the Rams were able to get a nice stop on that first drive, and we'll see what this defense can do here. Energized.
Ram defense back out on the field. Jones, the quarterback. Shelburne behind him. Quick throw out to the near side, and it's almost picked off by Carter Langendorfer, who jumped the route, read it perfectly, and just couldn't quite come up with the interception. If he does, he extends the Rams' lead once again.
He had his sights on 6, Steve, right there. Carter Langendorfer, he holds on to that one. It's a 28-7 lead.
Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10, 4:28 to go here in this second quarter. Again, Yukon staying with their game plan and being very methodical. Play clock, for the most part, has gone down inside 10 seconds of every play. Jones, handoff to Shelburne, loses the football, and he's going to be wrapped up and tackled in the backfield. Christian Turner in on the tackle, Chris Ferris, and a host of Rams.
Oh, my, Steve Mowry. This Ram defense, when they play with energy and excitement, they're going to make you pay, especially if you make a mistake like that.
Let's see where they marked the football, Jared. I thought it was further back.
Oh, it definitely was. He didn't pick up the ball until inside the 15.
Well, they're going to bring it back out to the 18-yard line, and that'll be 3rd and 12 for the Millers. But in any case, the Rams able to get a stop. They've got time to add an extra touchdown here before halftime. Jones with Shelburne to his left. Jones in the pocket, under pressure, throws over the middle, and the ball bounces off the hands of his receiver, Daniel Yebbett. He had some room to run. Not sure he would have had enough for the first down, but it might have been one of those situations he got enough where Coach Barnes would have thought about going for it on 4th down, but with the incomplete pass, he'll send on his punt team.
Yeah, he sure had a lot of space there, Steve, but first, we saw it with Carter Langendorfer. You got to corral the ball. You got to bring the ball in first before you can run.
So Haxton will go back to punt for Yukon, sets up at his 6-yard line. Tay Bethel just inside the 50 to receive the punt. Nice high spiraling punt. Fair catch called by Bethel. He fumbles the football. It's still on the ground. There's a scrum, and the Rams able to make the recovery. Bethel recovers his own fumble, so 3:19 on the clock, and the Rams with half of a football field.
Yeah, and almost a disaster right there, but Tay Bethel doing a nice job of falling on the football. And with 3:19 to play, the Rams with plenty of time to add to this lead. Steve, let's take a look at our halftime. We got some exciting things happening in our halftime show tonight.
Yeah, we got a little bit different show that we'll bring you. We got some special guests here in the booth. You'll want to stay tuned and join us for that. Hopefully our friends at Waldo's will hang around. Frankenfield with the handoff to Hall, trying to run out to the left, letting his big blockers work for him, and finally falls forward near the 46-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. Will bring up 2nd and 6.
And those are the types of runs, Steve, that'll wear on a defense.
Yes.
When you're getting blocked 15 yards laterally before anything even happens on the play, you've got a lot of effort into that.
Frankenfield again, the handoff to Hall, runs left. He'll be wrapped up after a gain of 2. So call it 3rd and 5. Connor Cannon in on the tackle for the Millers. Rams still with plenty of time on the clock, 2:30 here in the second quarter. They have 2 timeouts left. Frankenfield with 2 receivers to the right. He's looking to his left, throws over the middle, and Julius Wilson unable to come up with the reception that time. Defensively, Trendon Turner in the vicinity, and that will bring up a 4th down. Kind of one of those iffy decisions here, Jared. You've got a 14-point lead with 2:14 to go. Ball at the Yukon 45-yard line. You got to get inside the 40. Coach Blankenship leaves his offense out on the field, and I think the Rams are going to take a timeout here and talk this over. We'll take a timeout as well. It's Owasso 21, Yukon 7.
Imagine a free checking account that finally fits your vibe. No weird rules, no stress, just simple freedom. Visit okcu.org to learn more.
Back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth, 2:14 to play in the first half of action. The Owasso Rams lead the Yukon Millers 21-7. It's fourth down and a 5+ yards to go, Steve Mowry, and we saw the Rams initially with their offense on the field, but after the timeout, they're going to bring out the punt unit and try to pin the Millers deep.
Yeah, I like this call, Jared. It's safe. You're up 14 points. There's no reason to try to do anything extra here, as a nice booming punt hits just into the end zone. What a punt by Malachi Thomas as he punts that into the end zone for the touchback.
Yeah, that flew 55 yards in the air, Steve. Probably longer than the Rams expected it to fly.
Right.
And they didn't have anybody down there to really make an aggressive effort at downing it deep. But again, the Millers are going to start at the 20-yard line for the third straight drive. We'll see if this defense can once again get a stop.
Yeah, this Ram defense has been smothering here since Yukon was able to put together that one drive back in the first quarter. Hasn't been much. The defense has settled in. Defensive coordinator Steve Mill doing a great job and really motivating this Ram defense. Jones with Shelburne behind him. Fakes the handoff, back in the pocket, looking downfield. He's going to take a shot deep down the middle of the field, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Yebbett. Good coverage by A.J. Roberts there on the far side.
Yeah, really nice job by A.J. Roberts. There was single coverage there on the far side, and he's given up quite a bit of height to Daniel Yebbett there, but sticking with him stride for stride. The ball overthrown.
So 2nd and 10 for the Millers as we are just outside 2 minutes here in the quarter. And Yukon has really worked this play clock. It's been good to see in the game tonight, though, Jared, Cole Campbell, who is here in coverage on the near side. He's going to be covering Khalil. Handoff up the middle, and tackle made by Carter Langendorfer. It looked like Shelburne might have some room as he went to his right. Langendorfer able to cut that off. Gain of 4 on the play brings up 3rd and 6.
And they can run 40 seconds off this.
And that's what they've been doing.
Game clock.
They're using the entire game clock so that, the offense of Owasso doesn't have more time. Jones with Shelburne to his left. In the pocket, and we're going to have a flag before the play. It's going to be a procedure call against the Millers. And that will back them up 5 yards. We've seen that a couple of times by Yukon, Jared, where they've had opportunities in down and distance, but that 3rd down seems to be a tough down for them. And this will back them up 5 yards. So instead of 3rd and 6, you're looking at 3rd and 11.
Yeah, and that's a different ball game there for you if you're Yukon. 11 yards hard to come by right now for this offense.
So the Ram defense, they're going to play 2 deep safeties with 1 in the middle. Corners are going to play 10 yards back as well. Jones back in the pocket, takes a deep drop, lofts one out here to the near side, and the catch is made. The Rams played too soft and too deep that time as Khalil was able to make the catch. near the 39-yard line. That's going to be enough to move the chain, so Yukon able to overcome that big down and distance.
Just a little bit of confusion there in the secondary, and Yukon making them pay. You don't want to give them any life here with 70 seconds to play.
Yeah. 1st and 10 at the Yukon 38-yard line. Jones, low snap, fakes the handoff. Pressure comes. He's got a wide-open receiver down the middle of the field, and the ball is underthrown, intended for Yebbett, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, that was beautifully timed there by Peyton LeGrand coming out.
Thought he might have gotten there just a little bit early, but he did not. He played it well.
Yeah, that with that underthrown ball, that's what you got to watch out for, is arriving early, but I thought he timed it well there and broke it up.
So 2nd and 10 for the Millers from their own 38. Clock stopped at 57 seconds.
I always find that interesting when they have the 10th of the second in football there. 57.7 seconds to play in the first half.
Jones in the pocket, looks to his right, throws underneath, and the catch is made by the tight end. He breaks a tackle and gets to the outside for a big gain, runs out of bounds. Eli Kinley.
And A.J. Roberts had an opportunity there, Steve, to limit the damage, but unable to wrap him up.
Yards after catch that time, disastrous for Owasso, and now Yukon in Owasso territory at the Ram 43-yard line. 49 seconds on the clock. Yukon, I mean, you got to credit them, Jared. They have stuck with their game plan.
Not sure why the clock's not running here.
It was out of bounds.
Oh, that's right.
So Jones looks left, and then he's going to be wrapped up by Christoferis and thrown to the ground. That'll keep the clock running.
Phenomenal pursuit there by Christoferis, Ryder Karn.
Yukon's got to go fast. Clock is running. Sort of. Jones with a throw here to the near side. Cole Campbell with the pick. Takes off running back into Yukon territory, and he's thrown down inside the 40-yard line.
How about that, Steve? Welcome back, Cole Campbell, going up, high point in the football. And with 20 seconds left in this half, the Rams all of a sudden with some great field position for an opportunity to go put more points on the board.
What a job. It really looked for a moment like Jones was just trying to throw that out of bounds, but he didn't put enough on it. Campbell was able to jump up. He was able to avoid one defender and almost break the tackle of another.
Almost made him pay right there on his own.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Rams with 19.6 seconds to go here before halftime. Ball at the Yukon 39-yard line. Think the Rams run relay here?
See what we do.
Frankenfield with Hall to his right. In the pocket. Good protection. Throws behind his intended receiver, Colby Whiteman. Whiteman really had no opportunity for that catch. Very dangerous pass by Frankenfield across the middle. Several red shirts in that vicinity.
And I thought the Rams had an opportunity there. They had a defender fell right at the snap. So they had that kind of trips bunch on the far side. One of the linebackers fell down.
2nd and 10. Frankenfield looks over to the sideline. He'll get the play call, and then now he'll relay it to his offense.
Rams still with 2 timeouts to play with.
Frankenfield in the pocket. Good protection. Looks downfield, throws underneath. The catch is made by Julius Wilson, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That'll be enough for a First Bank of Owasso 1st and 10, 8.6 seconds on the clock. So you possibly have time. You could run a play and call timeout, or you could try a couple of pass plays. I think we're within field goal range to give Juan Razzo an opportunity.
Yeah, he's got the leg for it for sure.
So the Rams waiting on the signal for the offensive play from the sideline. Frankenfield with 2 receivers out to his left. Wilson here on the right side. Frankenfield looks that way. Pressure from the right. He's got a lot of room, and then he throws it out of bounds. I think he knew he couldn't run, and Wilson was well covered, so probably a smart decision there by Frankenfield.
Yeah, able to get out of the pocket. The left end came at him untouched somehow, Steve, and
yeah,
he had to evade that potential tackler, just throw the ball away.
So the Rams on second down with 4.2 seconds are going to give Juan Razzo an opportunity to kick a 43-yard field goal. Bryson Francis will be the holder. He's waiting for the signal. Razzo gives him the go-ahead. He's got the leg, and it's good. Juan Razzo with a 43-yard field goal as the clock runs out, and the Rams lead 24-7. I say the clock ran out, but they stopped it at 0.7 seconds. They actually
You're kidding.
They didn't run it at all during the kick, and the referee signals to them to go ahead and run out the clock. So that's what they do. We head to halftime, and it is Owasso 24, the Yukon Millers 7. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Now let's talk about Tackle Tuesday. I think it's a good idea. If you're not being productive, if you're not being fun, you get tackled.
Hey, Sarah, I asked for these reports at 2 o'clock. It is now 2:03. What's
But don't worry, Rambo would never tackle a guest.
Well, break time's over. Time to go serve some customers.
I'll come over there when I'm good and ready.
Yo, my guy, trying to get some bread. I need that moolah for my new drip, you feel me? It's low-key urgent.
He's trying to do a withdrawal. Bet broski, you've been a lock in that cheddar and glow up real quick.
Hey, I see you, Granny.
Hey, meteorologist Travis Meyer here, and we're going on up to the First Bank of Owasso camera. And of course, it's Friday night for high school football. Why is the camera moving? Production, can you give me a shot of what's going on? Is that Rambo? Rambo, what are you doing with the camera? You're live right now. Rambo, what are you doing? Are you dancing? Yeah, it's nice that you can dance and all that type of stuff. That's great. You know, it's wonderful. What are you doing? Okay, let's cut this feed. Yeah.
Welcome back here to Yukon, where the Owasso Rams lead the Yukon Millers 24-7. I actually shorted Juan Razzo, 1 yard, I was told here in the booth. Rob Williams has me straightened up, and we'll call it a 44-yard field goal, and Owasso leading 24-7 in this key district matchup. Here at halftime, it's senior night here at Yukon as the seniors are being recognized, but also I'm joined by special guest, good friend, Pastor Chris Wall, pastor at First Baptist Church in Owasso. Chris, welcome to the halftime show. It's great to have you here.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Thanks for letting me come.
I know you have a lot of connections here between Owasso and Yukon, and I know there's a special story from your time here in the Yukon area. It's Hall of Fame night here at Yukon as well, and part of your story and part of bringing that to Owasso has kind of connected these two communities. If you want to just share some of that with us here this evening.
Yeah, thanks for letting me do that.
Sure.
You know, Justin Sullivan was a young man that was in my ministry when I was in Oklahoma City, and he was a great baseball player, great battles against Owasso.
Yeah.
And in fact, Justin was on June 2nd, 2002, was named Baseball Player of the Year for the state of Oklahoma. Highest honor of a baseball player for a baseball player. And then the next day, June 3rd, he was tragically killed when tires broke off a semi-truck, crossed the median, and killed him instantly. And I preached his funeral. And what's amazing is I used this picture in his funeral of Justin catching on a baseball field. And I've seen that picture since 2002. And I'd never looked at the batter. I always looked at Justin. And when I came to Owasso in 2012, I was sharing this story with the baseball team. And as I was sharing that story, Coach Turner's daughter is in the room. I showed this video. This picture comes up, and she goes, "That's Owasso's baseball field." And I said, "What?" And sure enough, the batter, Owasso Rams, it was the Pro 9 tournament.
Yeah.
Owasso beat Yukon in the final, Yukon beat Owasso at the Pro 9, but then Owasso beat them in, I think, the state finals.
Later on that year. Yeah,
later on that year. And but for me, it was a beautiful confirmation that I was supposed to be in Owasso.
Yeah.
And then tonight, I got a phone call a few months ago from the athletic department here at Yukon. They're following Owasso's example of Hall of Fame. This is their second class. And he said, "Hey, Chris, I've been the spokesperson historically for the Sullivan family and will tomorrow night at the banquet for Yukon." And they said, "Hey, Justin's being inducted into the Hall of Fame for Yukon. Could I come on, this date?" And I thought, I wonder who they're playing. I hadn't memorized the schedule.
Right.
And I looked at the schedule, and they're playing Owasso. And I thought, it was just a comfort for me as another confirmation that God has a plan for life and death. And, I appreciate you. You helped me with my dissertation as I began to write about this more and more. And just amazing to watch God's hand. And, I'm going to say tomorrow night, and that Justin, he's in heaven right now, not because he did more good than bad, but there was a day that Justin came to recognize that he needed a Savior. And we traveled with baseball from 2008 to 2019, 15 years. We traveled really. It was amazing. Justin's 15. It was number 15. And we hung up our cleats, but we traveled and we shared that story.
And that was the ambassadors.
The ambassador
you
baseball
became very involved with the ambassadors.
I did.
And to carry it another step, Chris, is I know there are a couple of players from Owasso have been involved with the ambassadors, but also Steve Holloman, longtime assistant baseball coach at Owasso, Larry Turner's, we would say right-hand man, but they were actually arm in arm in coaching, and Coach Holloman was a big help with that as well. So the interweaving of all of that is just it's an amazing story.
Yeah, I'm really thankful, and what a blessing tonight. It wasn't a good choice for Yukon to choose to play Owasso, but on their senior night, but because I knew what was going to happen. But I'll tell you what an honor it is for me to get to be here to speak tomorrow night at the Hall of Fame banquet here in Yukon, and I'm really thankful. And there is a deep connection between Owasso and Yukon in good battles,
right?
Especially on the baseball field, really good battles, and but then just also spiritual connections.
And I know that is a big part of your story and your ministry, and really one of the reasons that I asked you here, but also becoming more familiar with the ambassadors and the ministry that they had. I know, in talking with you and with Coach Holloman, the travels that the ambassadors made, and you can say that it was about baseball, but it was more than that.
Yeah, so much more. And not only did Steve go on those mission trips, John Cash, Trails End, went with me.
Yes.
And such great memories of Dustin Gorell, who's from Owasso, played baseball at Owasso, greatly involved in that ministry. So many connections. And watching Justin, though it was tragic, he died as an 18-year-old young man, and we were devastated. But we watch God do supernatural things through a story, and still are seeing that, and so very thankful. And what a meaningful night that we're playing Owasso. The Yukon's playing Owasso tonight, and this is a night that they honored Justin, and just really, really thankful.
So when you look at this picture over the time, from when you knew him to his passing to the transition to Owasso, I know the first thing that people might think is, wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't think
it's a little more than that.
Yeah. I think it's just this hand of God, and it shows me that God is purposeful about life.
Yeah.
He's purposeful about death, and there's meaning in every life. Everyone listening, there's meaning, and that's why it's important to recognize the supernatural purpose, the value of that every person has in the world. And so there may be some people listening tonight that maybe are struggling with their own self, but they're valuable in God's eyes, and there's people around them that care about them. And so, I've learned a lot in my life as a pastor about life and death, about, God has been the most present in the toughest of times. And this is just a blessing to see the hand of God through, even in the midst of things that I didn't really understand. And I watched God use Justin to impact baseball from Little League all the way to major leagues. And one fun quick story, and I know we don't have a ton of time, but Dylan Bundy. One day he goes to our church, and I took him to lunch, and we were talking, and he goes, "Hey, I remember when I played the Ambassadors." I go, "Dylan, are you kidding me?" I go, "How many baseball games have you played?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know, a bunch." And I go, "And you remembered playing a summer league ambassador team?" And he goes, "Well, it was different because after every game we would share Justin's story and then talk about Jesus and on the field that you needed a savior." And Dylan said, "Man, I never forgot that." And I just thought to myself, wow, God used this kid. And I said to the Lord, the moment I found out he died, I said, "God, what are you doing? I thought you were going to use Justin to impact Major League Baseball." He impacted Dylan. I got to speak to the Atlanta Braves in 2011, and a coach or a player for the Braves, Scott Linebrink, came to me and said, "Hey, God used this kid in my life." And so it just helped me see that God has a bigger purpose for every life. And I'm just really thankful that I've got to witness this. I love being in Owasso, and I'm so thankful that the Lord opened that door to move to Owasso.
Yeah.
But I love these people too, and so it's significant to be here today. And Saturday night I'll be back in Owasso, and I'm thankful. But what a blessing it is to come to Yukon today and be a part of these festivities and honor Justin's life. He was an ambassador for his family, for Yukon, for the state of Oklahoma, and more importantly, an ambassador for Christ.
Yeah.
And tonight. His recognition is a well-deserved honor for a young man who walked with God.
Well, man, I appreciate you being here and sharing that story. I know it's a heart-meaning time for you especially, but it also allows us to share the relationship between the two communities that is kind of woven together that maybe people aren't aware of.
Yeah, and it's fun to come battle communities like this, and we give it our best, but there's a deeper, hey, this is a joy, and this is a good connection to one another, and it's just good for our cities and good for our kids. And I'm just thankful to be here today.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
I appreciate
it, man.
Great to have you here. All right, my brother.
All right, see you.
Appreciate you. Pastor Chris Wall with First Baptist Church in Owasso here in our halftime show. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, come back and look at the numbers. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it loving others. Spend it knowing you are loved. Spend it nourishing your body. Spend it strengthening your soul. Spend it planning out every little detail. Spend it knowing you're part of a bigger plan. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
The Folds of Honor exists to meet sacrifice with hope. When U.S. service members and first responders are killed or disabled, the Folds of Honor steps in with life-changing scholarships for their spouse and children. This noble mission holds the power to unite Americans as we link arms and pledge our unwavering support to those who protect our freedom and our families. Join us.
My experience coming to the dealership was very friendly, very supportive, and they treated me like family, treated me like just one of their own. They made it pretty easy to learn how to buy a truck for like a first-time car owner. Knowing that I have a place where my truck will be taken care of by some great people over there, it makes me feel pretty good.
I've been here different times of the day. Mornings, everybody's kind of getting up, but everybody, when I've walked in, has a smile on their face. Afternoon, it seems like the smile never went away. Coming somewhere where it's honest and friendly and you become part of a family when you buy here and they understand your needs.
Find your new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram during the Make This the Summer event only at Jim Glover Dodge.
Hi, I'm Casey Miller.
Hola, yo soy Casey Miller.
You guys are ridiculous. Hi, I'm Casey Miller, your dedicated insurance agent. Our team recognizes the significance of clear communication and tailored service. In addition to our expert services, we have Spanish-speaking options and cater to individuals from all walks of life. Our aim is to ensure that every step of your insurance experience is smooth and stress-free. Contact us today at 918-272-8888 for a personalized insurance experience, where excellence in service meets the diverse needs of our clientele.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth here. Jared Gallagher, Steve Mowry with you as we are at halftime here at Miller Stadium. The Owasso Rams leading the Yukon Millers 24-7. Chaos in this Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth.
It's a pretty good jam.
Yeah, I like that. We'll just play it out next time.
Yeah,
we'll just play it out next time. Steve Mowry, the Owasso Rams, not the cleanest half of action that we've ever seen these Rams play, but asserting their dominance, leading 24-7.
Yeah, well, when they're playing effectively, but the penalties have certainly taken part in some of their lack of being able to execute, if you will. They really got the running game going. I mean, you got Jaden Hall with 3 touchdown runs here in this first half, and again, Juan Razzo with a 44-yard field goal made there to end the half. And I know that's a situation that Coach Blankenship, we always question sometimes certain instances when we meet at breakfast at Trails Inn Barbecue, 7 o'clock every Wednesday morning. Again, I would invite everyone to come to that. If you enjoy football and you really want to hear and talk about the insight of the game, you'll find out where we are wrong and Coach B is right. And so, man, it's a good time. But he's going to file that away because we questioned, what are you comfortable with his kicking distance?
Right.
And I think that extended what he originally had in his mind, that he can trust Juan to step up. I mean, that kick was probably good from 47, maybe 48 yards.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he would try that, but if you got to the end of a half and 3 points plays a critical part, I don't think he would hesitate to take that risk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I think we've known that he has the leg, he has the distance to do it. It's kind of been the accuracy piece of that, right? And a football is not a round soccer ball, and he's had to adjust to that over the season. And so we've seen Juan Razzo get so much more comfortable in the place-kicking duties there. And so, tremendous job. 43-yard kick with confidence, which is something we don't see every year out of high school kickers. I mean, that's impressive to be able to kick a 40-plus yarder with confidence like that. So all in all, a good first half for the Owasso Rams. Obviously, things you want to clean up as we take a look at our stats, Steve Mowry. The big one being 7 penalties for 65 yards.
Yeah.
But again, you clean that up, and you're playing a pretty good half of football.
Maybe another opportunity or two to be able to pick up that extra touchdown. But still, even with the penalties, the execution offensively and defensively has just been stellar.
Yeah, as we look at the numbers here for the Owasso Rams, 6 first downs, 14 rushes for 71 yards, passing 8 of 13 for 132 yards. Total offensive plays for the Rams, 28 for 203. And a lot of that has been, they probably would have had more yards in the half, but their field position, their average starting position, is the 48-yard line.
Yeah.
So you're literally playing with half a field when you're getting the football. And so that's contrasted to Yukon's 21-yard line on average. So the Rams, obviously, when you play with half the field that the other team does, you're probably going to score more points, and that's what the Rams have done. They did fumble the ball one time, but did not lose it. They had 9 minutes and 42 seconds of possession, 2 of 5 on third downs. One thing I think, again, Jaden Hall has 11 for 68 on the ground, but I think that the Yukon defense, especially those linebackers we talked about, have done a nice job of limiting Hall's production as best they can.
Well, and you can tell they've scouted film that Owasso really likes to run off that left side, get behind Big Baron Brooks. That's where, Jaden likes to kind of hide and then decide if he's going to go to the inside or dart to the outside. Elon Reagan on that side. So I think they've kind of heavied up an extra man in that area. And really, those are two really good linebackers.
Yeah.
Lujan, probably, in my mind, one of the best linebackers in the state. Very athletic. He plays some running back, scored the touchdown for Yukon, the lone touchdown here in the first half. But, again, third quarter is usually where Owasso has established an identity of separation.
And typically where the Rams can open up the playbook a little bit. I mean, pretty vanilla run calling there.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't see a lot of counters. We didn't see a lot of reads. I'm not sure I saw Elon Reagan, didn't notice him in the backfield in the first half much at all.
No.
Kind of as that lead blocker.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they open that up a little bit. But again, you're doing what you're doing, and you've got a 17-point lead.
Right.
So, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And then defensively, as we run down these numbers for the Rams, they've done a fantastic job once again. 8 first downs for Yukon, but several of those coming off of a penalty. 15 rushes for -3 yards, including -7 in the second quarter. 109 total yards, but that's 34 snaps and just 106 yards, with only 31 of those yards coming in the second quarter. So really ratcheting up the defensive pressure there for the Owasso Rams. 2 fumbles, they didn't lose either of them, but they had 4 penalties for 30 yards, held the ball for 14 plus minutes. They were 2 of 5 on third downs and 1 of 1 on fourth downs. But again, if you don't have a few of those big passing plays to Yebbit, Yukon's not moving the football at all.
No, not much there. And again, this offensive line or the defensive line of Owasso, Overton, Turner, Ben Duggins with a couple of big plays.
Yeah.
Not much room. I mean, Ben Duggins can cover guard to guard about as well as anybody, and Taj Overton and Christian Turner setting the edge. And that allows Cam Miller, Ryder Karn, and Chris Zafaris to kind of fly around to the football. We've seen Zafaris be able to shoot the gap, and it's really kept Jones at bay there. He's not real comfortable in the pocket because he's been popped in the mask a couple of times.
And he's a dual threat quarterback. He's the second leading rusher on this team, Steve. We saw him, I believe, his first scramble. He got 10 or 15 yards. But we're sitting here at halftime, 7 rushes for -10 yards. So the Rams have done a phenomenal job, and that's credit to Chris Zafaris and Ryder Karn, those spies right there, because they can afford to do that. They've got the defensive pressure up front with those 3, Ben Duggins, Taj Overton, and Christian Turner, that they can afford to kind of have that spy situation with Chris Zafaris and Ryder Karn.
Yeah.
Or if they want to blitz them, they can blitz them. There's just so many more options you can do when you're dominating the front line like that.
Defensive coordinator Steve Neal has a lot of options to go to because he has preached all season long, fast to the football. And anytime, that's why it's hard sometimes to call out who actually made the tackle.
Yeah.
Because there are 4 Rams meeting at the point of attack wherever the football is. Also exciting, Jared, to see Cole Campbell get some action
Yes.
back in the game and get an interception. I mean, you couldn't script that any better for a guy who's trying to battle through injury, and in my mind is a key component to this Ram defense that would just add to what they already have. So
yeah.
getting him some reps in this game, if he's able to play through that would be a big impact. The Rams will be on a bye next week, and so that'll give him some extra time to feel better. And you mentioned earlier how fortunate the Rams have been to avoid really serious injury to any one player throughout the season. And if they can carry that into the playoffs, I mean, I think this is going to be a dangerous team.
Yeah, and again, Cole Campbell playing with confidence is not a guy that I would want to go up against.
No.
A healthy Cole Campbell with confidence is a very good football player, Steve. So, we're not sure. They took the time off the scoreboard. We don't know how much time is left here in halftime, but when the Rams come back onto the field, 3 minutes.
Teams coming back out on the field.
Teams are back on the field and warming up. We're about 3 minutes away from action as the Owasso Rams will kick off to start the second half, and we'll see if this Ram defense can continue what they did in the second quarter. Big thanks to Rob Williams for putting these stats together at halftime. Way better at math than I am. And he's got his – I wish people could see his little
his abacus. The abacus going over here.
His handwritten Excel sheet over there that he's working on, because it's pretty remarkable, and we appreciate him very much. Steve, as we look at our second half adjustment brought to you by Restoration Chiropractic, what would you like to – I mean, obviously cleaning up penalties. That's a huge one, right, and glaring. But what else from the Rams would you like to see? I mean – again, you're sitting on a 17-point lead at halftime. Just continue the pressure.
I mean, outside of the penalties, they've played a really good first half. They've executed well. I mean, I guess if we're looking at anything, Jared, it's trying to execute a little bit better in the passing game, and I'm really stretching here because Drew Frankenfield has done an outstanding job. Couple of the long balls, I'd like to see us be able to connect on those. Julius Wilson in single coverage. Also, I like dragging Colton Sudbeck or Tay Bethel across the middle and getting them out into space. The problem is, especially here on the west side, I mean, I know you're going to hear me say this, it's hard for our receivers to block as good as they do because over here it looks like there's more holding going on than actuality. But, man, I just think if you clean up the penalties, this game is going to fall in the Rams' favor.
That is the second half adjustment brought to you by Restoration Chiropractic. Owasso grads Allie and Bryce Colt know what it takes to be a champion. Go see Dr. Allie and Dr. Bryce at Restoration Chiropractic in the Tyann Plaza today. And Steve Mowry, as we look at a few of these other game notes that I have, obviously 8th season for Bill Blankenship at Owasso High School, 2 different stints, 2-time state championship. During that time, this would be his 77th win in 8 seasons, so averaging nearly 10 wins. Well, by the end of this season, he will have averaged 10 wins a season, assuming we go as far as in the playoffs as we expect to go. But some other numbers, 5-0 versus the Yukon Millers all-time, looking to improve that to 6-0 all-time. 58-3 versus West Side Schools under Bill Blankenship.
Amazing.
37-2 in the month of October, with another perfect October finishing up last week. I mean, just tremendous efforts, year in and year out by these Owasso Rams to gear toward the playoff. And again, you want to peak during playoff time, and that's time and time again what the Owasso Rams have done.
Get better every week, go 1-0, and I feel like this Owasso ball club, from what we saw in week 1 and week 2 against Bixby and Jinx, I think there have been a lot of things ironed out. Now, I still believe, Jared, that the road to the state championships runs through South Tulsa.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at scores tonight. Bixby is leading Norman 37-3 at halftime. Jinx won big last night over Edmond North, 69-8. Union falls to Edmond Memorial, 16-10. Mustang, who is a very quiet, dangerous ball club, especially with the move-in quarterback. They lead Deer Creek 38-7, and Broken Arrow leading Westmore, who has gone winless this season. Looks like they'll finish at 0-10. Broken Arrow will improve to 8-2, and they're number 4 in the district. When you look at the rankings, not that those mean a whole lot. It's been Bixby, Jinx, Owasso for the most part, 1, 2, 3, then Broken Arrow and Mustang, and then a dangerous Edmond Memorial team. Union has gotten better, and then you've got Norman, Yukon, and Norman North. So,
and Steve, I will say, we have a first-round bye next week. We already know that. We're hosting a game in the second round. But once you get to that second round of the playoffs, there are no gimmies.
Right.
Mustang can come in and beat you. Broken Arrow can come in and beat you. We saw that a couple of years ago when we played them in the quarterfinals. I mean, it's not a gimme that you're just going to make it to the state semifinals and play Jinx or Bixby.
Right.
And so you've got to be on, and you've got to be ready to play ball, whoever you're playing against.
And that's why you and I stress the importance of cleaning up these penalties.
That's right.
Because you might be able to get by with that in a game like this tonight, but you won't be when you get to the semifinals. Well, Juan Razzo is going to get us started here in this third quarter as he kicks the football into the end zone for the touchback, and Yukon will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Appreciate you joining us here this evening, and we appreciate our third quarter sponsor, Eagle Window Tint.
Yeah, Eagle Window Tint in the Fifth Avenue Business Complex. They offer 10% off for all military and first responders, and all of their tints have a lifetime warranty. That's only at Eagle Window Tint in the Fifth Avenue Business Complex, proud supporters of Owasso Athletics. Also, big thanks to everybody at Waldo's Chicken watching. Hopefully they're all still there, still partying, having a good time. The official watch party of Owasso football.
Yukon with the handoff to Shelburne, and he's met very rudely in the backfield by Christian Turner. I think Christian Turner thought he was supposed to take the handoff because he was right there as soon as Jones turned to hand the ball off to his running back.
And if he was there a split second earlier, he would have taken the handoff and taken that one to the house. Great job, Christian Turner.
So a loss of 3 brings up 2nd and 13. Jones fakes the handoff, looks out to his right, throw across the middle, and he finds Yebbett, and he is separated from the football. They're going to say he's down, but Cole Campbell delivered the punishment.
Wow, Cole Campbell, welcome back, young man. And again, Christian Turner right in the face of the quarterback once again.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down.
You hear the excitement from the Owasso coaches booth next to us.
Yeah, we gotta tone down the espressos and lattes going in over there. It's a little out of control. So
the Celsius flows freely.
3rd down for the Millers. Jones in the pocket and a flag before the play. I believe this will be a procedure against Yukon, and it'll back them up even further.
It's those
5 more yards.
3rd downs again, Steve. Really having trouble with those 3rd downs. Pesky.
So that'll back the Millers back up to their own 12-yard line as they look to overcome a 3rd and 18. 3 receivers to the right. Ball on the left hash. Jones in the pocket. Under pressure. Throws over the middle. Ball's tipped up, and it's knocked again away from Yebbett. Chris Safaris along with Sam Hoback. Great defense. And it'll be a punting situation for the Millers.
Yeah, and Jackson Suggs also in on that play. Man, Ram defense is flying all over the field right now. I love to see it. I mean, almost without reaction. I mean, it's instantaneously there on the football.
We saw this last week, Jared, as well, and the week before. The speed of Owasso defensively really shows up against the speed of the opponent. Haxton with the punt. It's blocked in the end zone, and it rolls out of the end zone. That'll be a safety for the Rams.
I didn't see who got a hand on it, Steve, but there were 3 or 4 Owasso Rams right there on that jailbreak.
Well, we talked earlier about the difficulties that Yukon had been having on special teams, and Owasso took advantage and is able to get the safety as they increase their lead 26-7, and now Yukon will have to kick to Owasso.
That drive just taking 51 seconds off the clock, and that's how you want to get the ball back there, right there, Steve. I believe the first block punt of the season, is that correct? First block punt of the season, rolls out of bounds for the safety. We'll take it. Now Yukon's going to have to kick it away from their 20-yard line.
Yeah, we'll see if they choose to punt or to tee it up. Jonathan Haxton is the kicker, and it looks like he will use the tee.
I'll tell you, that play alone is worth coming to Trails Inn Barbecue for. I bet we spend 5 minutes on that play.
I think we should.
On Wednesday morning, Steve.
By the way, the breakfast is pretty good, too.
Yep, John Cash and his crew do a phenomenal job. It's my favorite breakfast in town for sure.
Stephanie and Kelsey do a pretty good job of making sure those big coffee cups stay full as well.
Yeah. I think mine says Miss Kitty on it.
Easy. Here's the kick by Haxton. He's going to kick it deep. Tay Bethel's going to have to go way deep and try to corral this at the 15, out to the 20, runs to his right, looking for a block, cuts up field, doesn't really get a block, and he'll be tackled at the 26-yard line. I think if you're Yukon, you couldn't ask for much better than that in that situation, kicking from your own 20, and Owasso starting, the Rams have started for the most part with a short field all evening long, and they'll start 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
That was well done to flip the field there. Fur Mama, that's what my coffee cup says. Thank you, Grant Mowry. Not Mr.
Is this
Kitty.
the deepest field position? Yeah, this will be the deepest field position that the Rams have had to start from. They'll spot it right at the 25-yard line of Owasso, 1st and 10. Frankenfield with Hall to his right. Hands the ball off to Hall right up the middle, through the A-gap down to near the 29-yard line. See if they give him that extra yard or if they spot it at the 28. They'll say the 28. Nope, they'll move it up to the 29. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 2nd and 6. Now, Jared, we're seeing Elon Reagan lining up in the backfield. We say that more of a sniffer behind left tackle. Hand off to Hall once again. Runs off the left side. Looks like he got tripped up on someone's foot and is tackled near the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a gain of 1. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, there's Nick Rosas in there. And I think that's who he tripped up on. But, again, in the runs that he's usually getting to that second level and running over linebackers, these linebackers are doing a nice job of getting in there and wrapping up.
Now Reagan returns to left guard. 3 receivers in a bunch formation here to the left side. Hand off to Hall. He's got room up the middle. He crosses the 40 to the 45, 50. Inside the 40, and he's knocked out of bounds just near the Yukon 35-yard line. But the Ram offense spreads the defense, and there is no one on the inside. Hall able to burst through, cut back to the right to the sideline. A big gain on the play, and a first Bank of Owasso 1st and 10.
No delay or no patience needed there because the delay handoff, there was nobody around to tackle him.
They'll mark the ball at the Yukon 39-yard line. 1st and 10 Rams. Reagan in the backfield. Hand off to Hall. He runs to the left side. He's going to be met in the hole that time. Actually, that is Chris Zafaris looking for some running room. He may have gotten 1 yard on the play, but there were several red-shirted Yukon Millers players. Gain of 1 makes it 2nd and 9. Zafaris will stay in at running back. Now the Rams becoming a bit more methodical, not really running tempo. Tay Bethel in single coverage here to the near side. Hand off to Zafaris up the middle. He's got some room, runs over a defender, and he's tackled near the 34-yard line.
Just trying to wear these defenders out, Steve. 5 or 6 runs in a row here.
Wilson and Bethel are the receivers here on the near side. Bethel in the slot. Hall back in at running back. Reagan over on the right. He looks bored.
He does. That pre-snap
He's
stance
ready to run. He's ready to run the play. Hand off to Hall over the right side. Reagan makes a hole, but Hall is grabbed from behind and then pulled backward. And I think this will bring up 4th down. And you're probably in that area of the field, Jared, where Coach Blankenship will try to go for the first down. Ball spotted at the 32-yard line. So now 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Hall the running back. Carter Langendorfer in at receiver here on the near side. Frankenfield takes the snap, looks to his left, throws one over the middle and finds his receiver. The catch is made in traffic by Tay Bethel, and that'll be a First Bank of Owasso, 1st and 10, move the chains.
And for Tay Bethel to hold on to that football, Steve, that was a cannon shot by Drew Frankenfield. Splitting defenders and finding Tay Bethel for the first down.
Well, and there was a lot of traffic in the middle for Bethel to take a hit, but a good throw by Frankenfield to lead his receiver down into the ground. Hand off to Hall, runs out to the right, outruns Reagan, cuts back up inside near the 20-yard line. I think Jaden Hall was waiting for Eland Reagan to get out there, and Hall just outran his blocker that time.
Yeah, I'm still able to get 5 yards on first down. You'll take that. Set you up here right around the 20-yard line.
2nd and 6. And this drive really taking a lot of time off the clock as well. Hall runs to the left side, still fighting, dragging a defender. I thought he was tackled short of the line to gain, but he's going to be close this time.
Yeah, that was Chris Zafaris, and he took a shot at the line of scrimmage, spun out of it, was able to drag a defender holding onto his leg.
They're going to say first down.
Wow, great run there by Chris Zafaris.
Rams with a good rotation at the offensive line. 6:20 on the clock here in this third quarter. And Jared, this has been one of those take the wind out of your opponent type drives. Sugar Huddle rams up quickly. Pitch out to Zafaris. Cuts inside, finds some room, bounces outside, and finally brought down inside the 5-yard line.
Some more.
Yeah, Eland Reagan tried to draw another penalty, but the referee wasn't buying it that time.
Fool me once, Steve.
Yeah.
Good 9-yard gain there on first down by Zafaris, the Sugar Huddle. Pitch out. The Rams with the 2nd and 1 at the 5-yard line.
5:30 on the game clock. Frankenfield with Hall to his right. Hands off to Hall. Runs to the right. Gets hit. Still fighting for yardage. The ball is dropped. Picked up by Eland Reagan. And Reagan scores the touchdown.
Holy cow.
There will be a party on the bus on the way home tonight. I promise you.
Oh, my goodness,
The big man has been dreaming of this all season long, and he gets it here tonight in Yukon. We will not hear the end of this.
Not as much celebration there from the coach's booth, Steve, but, man, Eland Reagan, heads-up play there. Congratulations, young man.
So I think a timeout is on the field before the extra point attempt. Let's see what they are bringing both teams off. We'll take a 30-second timeout. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Now let's talk about Tackle Tuesday. I think it's a good idea. If you're not being productive, if you're not being fun, you get tackled.
Hey, Sarah, I asked for these reports at 2 o'clock. It is now 2:03.
But don't worry, Rambo would never tackle a guest.
Well, break time's over. Time to go serve some customers.
I'll come over there when I'm good and ready.
Yo, my guy, trying to get some bread. I need that moolah for my new drip, you feel me?
We're back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth. 5:18 to play in the third quarter of action, and the Owasso Rams are coming out for the extra point after the Elon Reagan 1-yard touchdown rush, fumble recovery into the end zone after Jaden Hall, who's typically very has a lot of ball security, fumbled that ball away trying to fight for extra yardage, but heads-up play there by number 66, Elon Reagan, to fall on it and run into the end zone, rumble into the end zone.
Big man touchdown.
For a touchdown. Give him the Piesman.
5:18 to go here in this third quarter. There's some discussion going on the field between Coach Barnes and the White Hat. They're going to say, I'm not sure what the discussion is all about, but he took a timeout. A long discussion going on with this referee crew. No changes made on the field, so Juan Razzo will line up for the extra point attempt after the discussion. Bryson Francis awaits the snap. It's back, and the kick is up. And once again, we've got some extracurricular activity after the play, but they send both teams off to the side, and with 5:18 to go here in this third quarter, the Rams in control, 33-7 over Yukon. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Yo, my guy, trying to get some bread. I need that moolah for my new drip, you feel me? It's low-key urgent.
He's trying to do a withdrawal. Bet broski, you've been a lock in that cheddar and glow up real quick.
Hey, I see you, Granny.
Hey.
5:18 to play here in the third quarter, brought to you by Eagle Window Tennis. We welcome you back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth. Jared Gallagher, Steve Mowry with you as the Rams tack on another touchdown. It's a 1-yard Elon Reagan touchdown rush on a 12-play, 75-yard drive. As
Juan Razzo kickoff is fielded at the 1-yard line, out to the 15 near the 17-yard line, and the tackle is made. Joey Grable in on the tackle once again. And Yukon will start first and 10 from their own 18-yard line.
Yeah, that last drive, very similar to
somebody you know.
Yeah, a game-winning touchdown we saw, 13 years ago, I believe,
Yep.
14 years ago maybe, out of Midwest City. Undefeated Midwest City, double overtime, November 17th, I believe, of 2011. It was a cold night, and the Rams in double overtime needed a touchdown to win, and they fumbled it into the end zone, and somehow tight end Matt Gallagher falls on it for the game-winning touchdown.
Quick throw out to the left side. Catch made there, but not much gained as Chris Ferris in on the tackle along with Cam Miller, who was actually there first. I think we may have a new quarterback in the game. That is the left-handed throwing Tristan Berglund, a junior. So Berglund now in at quarterback.
Yeah, Chris Ferris plays with so much physicality. Shout out Coach Parker for reminding us about that tidbit back in 2011. He's right. Matt Gallagher missed a block, but he scored the touchdown because he missed his block.
We weren't going through all of it. So Berglund in the pocket looking downfield. He'll launch one deep down the far side, and Carter Langendorfer came over for a great play, and there's a flag on the play. And Jared, there's some guesswork there.
That's an absolutely egregious
that
flag.
Ball hung up in the air. Langendorfer was all over that. Oh my goodness!
Well, that's a back judge that's following the football right there and not watching what's actually happening in the secondary, because that was beautifully timed there by Langendorfer to go up and knock that one away.
Pass intended for Trevor Basabi. As it is, that will be a yardage penalty marked off. They're trying to figure out where to spot this football. The referee will walk it all the way out to the Yukon 35-yard line, where the Millers will start 1st and 10. Well, it looked like a good defensive play by Carter Langendorfer. I'll say this, at least the receiver wasn't wide open across the top, and Owasso was there in defense. Trying to break outside is the running back, and he'll be tackled hard by Chris Ferris. Shelburne gets out across the 45-yard line for another Yukon first down.
Yeah, that's the best run we've seen from Yukon here in about an hour and a half, Steve. All night, longest run all night. Wow.
We approach 4 minutes to go here in this third quarter. It's Owasso 33, Yukon 7. Yukon with a couple of first downs here on this drive. Rams showing pressure. Berglund hands the ball off, and he has nowhere to go as he's going to be thrown down to the ground. A host of Rams on that side. Christian Turner, Taj Overton.
Yeah, Ethan Magid also in there, Steve. Getting some playing time. Cam Miller. I mean, it's just the way they swarm. I mean, pick half of the defense, and they can be in on the tackle. It's crazy.
So a short loss on the play brings up 2nd and 10. Berglund in the pocket. He's under pressure. Tries to break out to the left side, but he can't outrun the speedy Chris Ferris. Berglund's going to be tackled for another 1-yard loss.
And Steve, did you see Taj Overton get into the backfield there? He's who
blew
sprung that one.
up, yeah.
Holy smokes.
The offensive lineman for the Millers was just rolling back on his back in the backfield. It was an open door for Taj Overton. 3rd down and 12. Overton lining up at nose guard. Rams with pressure. Throw over the middle. The hit is made immediately after the catch. Peyton LeGrand with a great tackle that time. The catch made by Lenny Palamba. And that'll bring up 4th and 5 right at midfield. What will Coach Barnes do here? It's the final game of the regular season here in district play. He's going to leave his offense out on the field, trailing 33-7. Berglund. And he tried to get the Rams to jump offside, and did they? Or was there procedure against Yukon? And it's going to go against Owasso.
Wow. I never saw a flag.
I didn't either. I don't see one being picked up. That'll be enough for a Yukon first down. at the Owasso 45-yard line. Clock stopped at 1:44. Now it's rolling. Berglund takes the snap. Handoff. And a good run that time by Shelburne. Took a couple of hits and was able to continue running forward. 9 yards on the play brings up 2nd and 1. No real urgency, though, from this Yukon Miller offense. They have stayed the course with their game plan.
Yeah.
And they wait for the play to come in from the sideline. They huddle up, break the huddle, come to the line. Berglund takes the snap, handoff, try to get to the outside. Christian Turner is able to wrap up the runner, but not before the first down is gained. And that will move the chains. Prince Shelburne able to just get to the outside. Turner was there to make the tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 Millers.
Yeah, Shelburne's a nice little ball carrier for the Millers.
Shifty runner. He's carried the load for the most part here tonight in the running game. Berglund with 2 receivers out to the right. Fake the handoff. In the pocket, Berglund, he gets hit. This ball's up for grabs, and it goes right through the hands of the safety, Langendorfer. Heavy pressure on Berglund. I believe that was either Taj Overton or Christian Turner once again. They have lived in the backfield all night long.
Yeah, Taj Overton just turtle shelling offensive linemen out here. Really an impressive performance. And I think, Steve, if Langendorfer runs through that rather than stops and jumps, he's got a better shot at catching that football, but we'll take what we can get. That's 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10, Berglund takes the snap, hands the ball off, and a nice tackle by Peyton LeGrand comes up, chops the tree down as Prince Shelburne goes to the ground immediately. Nowhere to run that time. LeGrand coming up and meeting him right around the knees. Wrap up. Good form tackle.
Yeah, no doubt. That was beautiful as we are going to head to the 4th quarter here, Steve. Rams comfortably out in front, 33-7.
This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
That's how it is.
Nice little jam there.
Yeah, I like that. Jared Gallagher, Steve Mowry with you here in the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth. 1 quarter to play here in the regular season, the 2025 regular season. We head to the 4th quarter, brought to you by Brew Coffee, with multiple locations, including a beautiful new location in Oolaga, Oklahoma. Brew Coffee House is dedicated to providing the highest quality coffee and the fastest service to our communities. Visit Brew Coffee House after every Owasso victory. And it looks like the Rams are well on their way to one more victory here in this regular season.
Yukon, 3rd and 9. Berglund takes a snap. He's under pressure. He's going to be sacked. No, he's able to break away. Looked like he was wrapped up. Still scrambling. Chris Safaris in chase. Berglund throws the ball down the field, and the catch is made.
Wow.
That was a pure jailbreak, if you will. Credit Berglund to be able to escape being tackled. And the catch was finally made.
And we're going to have a flag. Well, I think the White Hat picked up the flag, Steve. He threw the flag.
That there were no offensive lineman downfield, and no holding. That's unusual. And then we're going to have a personal foul against the Rams.
Roughing the passer.
They're going to call roughing the passer, as Rob saw
Man,
that part.
That is difficult because he gave up his passing abilities about 3 times on that play before he just chunked one downfield running out of bounds.
So that'll move the ball inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for Yukon.
Insult to injury there.
Looking at numbers through 3 quarters, the Rams with 137 yards on the ground, 9 of 16 passing for 141 yards, 278 total yards for the Rams. Yukon 6 yards rushing, but 119 yards through the air, 125 yards for the Millers. Berglund throws one to the far pylon, and the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, nice face guard there from Langendorfer.
Yeah. Intended receiver was Khalil. Khalil's had a couple of good catches here tonight, but not that time. Total yardage through 3 quarters, Owasso 278, Yukon 125. But again, Jared, you look at the penalty yardage, 8 penalties against Owasso for 80 yards, 5 penalties for 35 yards against the Millers. Berglund hands the ball off, and a good strong run again by Shelburne. He was hit by 3 Rams, continued to push forward inside the 5, down near the 3-yard line.
Yeah, Steve Shelburne's a 1,000-yard back here on the season, averaging 103 yards a game with 7 touchdowns of his own. He's a good running back.
Yeah,
if they can get their blocks lined up, he runs hard.
And similar to what we saw last week, Jared, the backup quarterback, a left-hander, comes in and starts moving the offense.
Uncanny.
So Berglund with Shelburne behind him, 2 receivers out to the right. Berglund's going to keep it, dodge up into the middle, and I don't believe he reached the end zone. There is no signal. He'll be stopped short of the goal line. And that'll bring up a big 4th down here for Yukon. This is just going to be a match of wills. The ball, I mean, that's what we would call tush-push territory, if you will. The brotherly shove. They're going to line up in pistol formation. Berglund with the snap. Hands off to Shelburne. He got bumped in the middle, but is able to bounce off to the outside and into the end zone for the Yukon touchdown. Looked like the Rams had him corralled out of the end zone, but he bounced off the pile over right tackle. And Yukon able to come up with their 2nd score of the game.
Yeah, good initial push there by the Rams front. Just nobody there on the right side as he's able to kind of feel his way into the end zone.
Haxton on for the extra point, and it's blocked. And again, the Rams special teams able to come up with a big play. 9:54 to go here in the 4th period. It's Owasso 33, Yukon 13.
At Restoration Chiropractic, Owasso graduates Dr. Bryce and Dr. Allie Colt know true health starts with your nervous system. That's why they use the Integrator, the only FDA-approved adjusting instrument, so there's no twisting, popping, or cracking. Restoration is just one of 5 offices in the state offering this precise, gentle technique. By restoring clear communication between brain and body, kids focus better, athletes perform stronger, and families heal naturally. When it comes to your health, trust the doctors bringing cutting-edge care back to their hometown.
Welcome back to the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast Booth. 9:54 to play here in this ball game from Miller Stadium on the west side of the Oklahoma City metropolis. Jared Gallagher and Steve Mowry with you. The Yukon Millers able to put together a scoring drive, missing the extra point opportunity, but some nice runs there. A couple of times again, Steve, you thought that defense was going to be able to bottle them up. but the Millers finding a way and cutting into this lead. It's now 33-13 in favor of the Owasso Rams.
So the Millers lining up for an onside kick, and a timeout is taken. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, once again, a big thanks to Brew Coffee, our fourth quarter sponsor. Be sure to hang out for our post-game show where we'll go over our Tulsa Accident Care Center drive of the game, get your Maori Funeral Service final word, and a big thanks to all of our sponsors here on this broadcast and all season long. First Bank of Owasso, Jim Glover Auto Family, St. Francis Health System, Tulsa Bone and Joint, Ascension St. John, Shields, big sponsor, Christian Brothers Automotive, and Waldo's Chicken, the official watch party of Owasso football. I'm sure the party's still going strong there at Waldo's Chicken.
You know it. They're open till midnight.
Really?
Yeah.
We might be back in time.
I'm telling you. You had the white beans?
I have.
Brother, I'm
Very
telling
good.
you, the white beans are something special. Those cheese biscuits.
Yeah, it's Catfish Friday, too.
Well, you want to be careful about Taco Thursday's just as good, man. I'm telling you. Dino and his crew, they've got it all there.
They got it figured out.
That's right.
For sure.
By the way, Jared, Rob has pointed out to me that 3 first downs with Yukon on that drive were aided by Owasso penalties.
That's tough. And we're going to see an onside kick here from Yukon.
9 penalties total in the game against the Rams for 90 yards. So it's the ball's set up on the right hash, and they're going to kick it back to the left. It did not go the required 10 yards, and Yukon is going to gather around it. The ball's still rolling, and I believe Yukon touched it before it made it to the 50-yard line, and so it'll be a Owasso ball, 1st and 10. So Haxton laid the ball on its side and then tried to do, the best I can describe is the helicopter kick, and it spun so much that it didn't have the momentum to take it the necessary 10 yards.
It spun itself dead at 9.5 yards, and you've got, 10 Yukon Millers surrounding the football, but they can't touch it because it's not going to go anywhere further. And so the Rams with good field position here, 9:48 to play.
Another short field for this Ram offense.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe the clock should have run for 6 seconds because nobody touched the football, but that's neither here nor there.
Drew Frankenfield back out on the field. Taking plenty of time to get everything situated.
Sure what the discussion is
delay?
Here. I don't know. Umpire holding up the play there for a good 30 seconds.
Now we're ready to go. 2 receivers out to the left. Frankenfield, quick throw out to the left. Tay Bethel with a good block on the outside, tries to cut inside, and he'll have enough for a 1st down, but good blocking on the outside edge by Julius Wilson as Bethel made the catch, darts up inside the 40-yard line for a First Bank of Owasso 1st and 10.
Drew Frankenfield just seeing good numbers there on the far side, flipping it out to Tay Bethel.
Well, he's almost got the same thing here on the near side. He sees it. Bethel again with a catch. A juke move. Cuts to the inside. He's across the 30 near another 1st down. It was the same play, Jared, only this time on the right side.
Yeah. Hey, if it's working, go back to it. And the lineup again, similar formation.
Yep.
Just on the opposite side again.
And the slot defender is 10 yards off. Now they're going to go long. Julius Wilson wide open. Touchdown, Owasso Rams. It was the same play, and both defenders came up for Bethel. It was wide open space for Julius Wilson. An easy throw for Drew Frankenfield, and a touchdown Rams.
An absolute thing of beauty there. Wonderful play calls there to set that one up. How fast was that scoring drive, Steve?
Well, and pretty easy. The onside kick doesn't go 10 yards. You throw a couple of passes to each side, and then you take advantage of an aggressive defense for the touchdown. Juan Razzo on for the extra point. Bryson Francis has the hold. The kick is up. through the uprights, and with 8:53 to go here in the fourth quarter, Owasso now leading 40-13 over Yukon. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Did you know every major professional sports league uses soft wave therapy? From the NFL and NBA to MLB and the PGA. Top athletes trust it to recover faster, heal injuries, and stay in the game. At Restoration Chiropractic, Owasso graduates Dr. Bryce and Dr. Ali Colt bring that same cutting-edge technology right here to Owasso. Softwave activates your body's very own resident stem cells to start the healing process in the damaged area. Whether it's the knee you keep putting off surgery on, a herniated disc, or neuropathy in the feet, come get your first session at Restoration Chiropractic for just $50.
Well, in their 7-game win streak, the Owasso Rams have won by an average of 41-13, and they lead this one over the Yukon Millers 40-13, 8:53 to play in this ball game. So we welcome you back into the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth.
High onside kick, fielded at the 20-yard line, out to the 25, and then the tackle from behind, I believe, Jason Mojica with the tackle on the kickoff, and Yukon will start 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. It's their best starting field position of the night, their own 30-yard line. So that tells you, again, Jared, you know, I like to talk about stats that sometimes get lost out of the stats.
Yeah.
And Juan Razzo has been a weapon for Owasso.
Absolute money on the extra points. He had a phenomenal 43-yard field goal earlier in the game, and he's consistently putting the ball in the end zone on kickoffs.
Berglund with a quick throw out into the flat to his running back. He'll be tackled out of bounds. In on the tackle, Zarin McGill and Cam Miller. Gain of 6 on the play brings up 2nd and 4. Ball spotted at the Yukon 36-yard line. Berglund with the handoff to Shelburne. He's hit, but he's so shifty that he bounces off the hit and is able to continue to spin forward near the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him just short. And that'll bring up 3rd and 1. Berglund with the handoff again. Shelburne tried to run to the outside and then darted off right tackle up the middle, but that may be enough for a Yukon first down. Did he cross the 40-yard line?
He just got just enough, Steve.
They're going to say yes, that'll be a first down, Millers.
And it dove under the line of scrimmage there and was able to get just across for the first down.
Berglund fakes a handoff, back in the pocket. 3 receivers going deep, one down the middle of the field, and was the catch made? Yes, it was. As going up between 3 defenders, Zayden Khalil, if there's a player offensively that's had a night, it's been Khalil. He's made some really nice catches, and he does it again there. That'll be the biggest gain of the night for Yukon as they'll move the chains down to the Ram 26-yard line, 1st and 10 Millers.
Yeah, Khalil, their second option statistically coming into this game with 364 yards receiving. But, man, he's had a nice night. Some very athletic grabs.
Tristan Berglund, he'll hand the ball off this time to George Keith in at running back. He'll get about 3 on the running play. They'll say 2, so make it. Well, they do say 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7. 6:30 to go here in our ball game. Will Baker in at the middle linebacker now. Berglund takes the snap. Quick throw over to the left side. It's almost picked off and out of bounds. Again, jumping the route, Sam Hoback, and then it almost bounced into the hands of the cornerback, Zarin McGill.
Yeah, Sam Hoback, great jump there to get his hands on the football. Again, another, if he locks that up, he's going to the house. We've seen several of those tonight.
Those are opportunities, though, Jared, as you get into the playoffs that can change a ball game.
Yeah.
You really want to make those plays. Clock stopped at 6:06. Berglund in the pocket, looking downfield. He's going to take off running. He's down to the 20, gets a block, and then he stopped at the 12-yard line on the hit by Sam Hoback. He'll be knocked out of bounds, stops the clock at 5:55.
A nice scramble there by Berglund.
First and 10, Yukon. They'll spot the ball at the 14. Again, I give them credit. They're committed to their game plan.
Yeah.
Berglund. Hand off to George, who runs up the middle, hit by Hoback, and then gets some help. Ball is loose, fallen on by Peyton LeGrand, but they're going to say the runner was down.
Boy, that was a quick stoppage, Steve.
George Keith lost the ball inside the 10-yard line, and they're going to say that's where his forward momentum carried him down to the 8.
He may have just hit the ground, Steve, before the ball came out.
Clock running at 5:25. Berglund with Shelburne back in the game. Now they'll change the play. I mean, they're losing about 35 or 40 seconds between plays. Shelburne with the carry. Hoback able to make the tackle. Help from LeGrand. He'll be down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Now Keith will come in at running back for Shelburne.
I'm not sure what you can do mechanically when you're trying to tackle somebody that spins like that, but he does. He spins
He uses effectively
every time.
Berglund with the snap. Hand off to Keith off the left side into the end zone and touchdown Yukon. George Keith with the 4-yard touchdown run. So again, a very methodical drive by Yukon. Haxton on for the extra point. As he awaits the snap, his kick is up, almost blocked again, but he's able to get it through the uprights. 4:29 left in our contest. It's Owasso 40, Yukon 20.
Hey, Owasso, you know these guys are big Ram fans. Before you take another Ram road trip, make sure your car is ready to go with a visit to your local Robertson Tire. From new tires to oil changes and so much more, the Robertson family has you covered. Visit them at 8431 Owasso Expressway or find one of their 14 locations all across the Tulsa Metro.
Robertson Tire. Keep rolling with Robertson.
Well, the DJ played All I Do Is Win after that Yukon touchdown, but all they're doing is losing by 20 points here to the Owasso Rams. 40-20 is your score, 4:29 to play here in this fourth quarter, brought to you by Brew Coffee House. And Steve Mowry, it's it's kind of one of those things. It's 20 points. You probably don't want to bring out your ones at that point, but
you got another onside kick getting ready to happen here. This time the ball is teed straight up, so let's see what Haxton chooses to do. I'm sure he's going to make sure it goes 10 yards this time. It's going to be a high onside, and the fair catch is called by Jaden Hall. I think he had plenty of room to run if he wanted to, but makes the safe play, and the Rams will start 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. So a 10-play, 70-yard drive took 4 minutes and 17 seconds off the clock, and it was Keith with a 4-yard touchdown run and the point after good, and that brought Yukon back to within 20, 40-7 our score. I think we're going to see Bryson Francis come in now at quarterback. He can take it to the house. Hands the ball off, and not much running room there. Not sure that Crisp, the running back, was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1 on the play. I think right now, though, the Rams they're going to put him right back at the 30-yard line. Keep the clock rolling here as we approach 4 minutes to go. Give you some other scores from district play here in just a moment. Rams going to let this run down. Moore defeating Enid 39-0. Mustang in control over Deer Creek 52-21. Norman North 28, Edmond Santa Fe 7. And Bixby all over Norman, 58-3. Broken Arrow over Westmore, 55-7. So those are scores that we expected tonight. I've got one in 6A2 that I'm very interested in to see how that Highway 97 game is going. And it's Sand Springs 35, Sapulpa 18. So Coach Klink got his Sandites playing some good ball. There's Crisp up the middle with a nice gain near the 45-yard line and beyond. And that'll be a First Bank of Owasso first down. I think the Rams starters on the offensive line still in the game.
Yeah, we talked about some of those spot substitutions that you might see in blowout ball games. Seeing what they're doing right here.
1st and 10 at the 45, and not sure what the holdup is.
Drew him offside again.
So Yukon offside will give the Rams free 5 yards. They'll place the ball right at midfield. Be 1st and 5. Clock under 3 minutes to go. Bryson Francis with Crisp to his left. See if Francis chooses to run. He'll hand the ball off to Crisp off the left side. I think he lost the football there for a moment, but was able to jump back on top. Gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Another score, Steve. Big game in 5A. Number 3, Del City, and number 4, Pryor.
Yeah.
Pryor's up 44-35 in the fourth quarter there. That'd be a big win.
I tell you, Pryor Tigers have a really good quarterback and a good football team. They can score quickly, and they score a lot.
Yeah.
Rams taking their time, taking time off the clock. 2nd and 2. Francis lets the play clock run down. He'll hand off to Chris once again. Got some room on the left side. Breaks into the open, down to the 20. 10, 5, touchdown, Owasso Rams. A big run by B.J. Crisp. In some of that, you see the future of Owasso football.
Yeah. Take a look at that. I think that was Jason Mojica, Steve. 34 on that run. Is that right?
It was Mojica on the run.
And what a run it was. I mean, between B.J. Crisp and Jason Mojica, Steve,
yeah,
future is bright.
Exactly. Extra point attempt is up, and it's good. New kicker that time.
Yeah, Daniel Worthington.
Yeah. So 1:45 here on the clock. Owasso 47, Yukon 20. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Hey Rams! Shields has your game day essentials for football, volleyball, cross country, soccer, and more. Plus all the fresh fits you need right in one place. From Nike to Hoka to Adidas, find all the iconic brands you love so you can feel and perform at your best. Our experts are here to help you get suited up with the gear and styles that are just right for you. Everything you need at Tulsa Shields, located at the Woodland Hills Mall.
Rams adding to their lead on the 47-yard Jason Mojica touchdown run. And they are leading the Yukon Millers 47-20 here late in this ball game. 1:45 to play. So we welcome you back in the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth.
Rams kickoff fielded inside the 20-yard line. Good kick coverage by this Ram kickoff team.
And it really has. I mean, the special teams, Steve, here tonight for the Owasso Rams, that has made a huge difference all season long, but especially in this ball game. I mean, when you talk about the consistency of Juan Razzo kicking the ball, the 43-yard field goal, the coverage that we've seen on punts and kickoffs, I mean, man, that's just, you got to be really impressed with this special teams.
Yeah, and then Crew Pennington able to make a nice tackle here on this kickoff. I know it's late in the game, but still good coverage by these Rams special team cover players as Yukon will start 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Berglund in the pocket, runs out to his left, under pressure, throws it to his intended receiver. Was the catch made? And they will say, yes, it was. Lenny Palamba able to bring that in. It was a low throw, but Palamba was able to go down and make the reception. 1st and 10 for Yukon. Stops the clock at 1:30. Miller's trying to go fast. Berglund. Quick throw over the middle, finds his big tight end, and it's Palamba again as he reaches near the 50-yard line. Another first down for Yukon.
Well, this is great experience for the Rams defensive twos going up against this starting offense.
Two receivers out to the right, one to the left. Berglund with pressure. Throws, and it's over the head of his intended receiver. That was Eli Kinley. And Eli looks like he goes about 6'3", so a high pass. Falls incomplete, stops the clock at 1:04.
Well, Steve, you are a smart man, and you talk about your second half adjustment by Restoration Chiropractic was adjusting to the penalties and limiting those penalties. Only 2 here so far in the second half. I thought that was a really well-done adjustment by you and by this Owasso team.
Well, they play so well offensively and defensively, it's hard to find anything else that they need to work on. Berglund back in the pocket, throws over the middle again, finds his receiver Palamba, who is able to run after the catch down near the Owasso 30-yard line. We're under a minute to go as the chain gang trying to get down in place. Berglund calls for the football, takes the snap, looks to his right. Throw over in the corner. They're going to fight for it. Good defense over on the far side. Jackson Suggs. That was good coverage by the Ram cornerback.
Yeah, great man-to-man job there by Jackson Suggs.
I mean, he's given up several inches to Khalil over on that side, who has had a really nice evening. Ball kind of hung up in the air, and that gave Suggs some time to adjust and make sure it didn't reach the receiver. 43 seconds on the clock. 2nd and 10. Berglund back in the pocket, flushed out to his left. He's going to try to run, and he'll be knocked out of bounds, but he kind of delivered the punishment. Up on the tackle was Jet Kimball. That was quite a collision between Kimball and Berglund. Gain of 8 on the play brings up 3rd and 2.
I really think Berglund there was more worried about laying the hit rather than trying to get the first down there. There's a big 3rd down and 2 coming up.
He's really come in and been able to move this Miller offense.
Yeah, he's done a nice job.
Shelburne to his left. Berglund in the pocket, looking across the field, finds a receiver cutting across, and he'll be knocked out of bounds. That's Khalil once again. Khalil, as we mentioned, has had a nice night for the Millers. He's knocked out of bounds, so that stops the clock at 29 seconds. So we may make it home tonight before 2:30 a.m.
Maybe so.
And no
this
rain.
Fourth quarter
no
has
rain.
dragged on.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we couldn't ask for better weather here and a beautiful facility that Yukon has.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely gorgeous night here in Yukon. Berglund with an empty backfield. Looking across the middle again, and the ball is knocked away in coverage that time for Owasso. Solomon Tiger. Yukon really trying to work the middle portion of the field right now. 26 seconds on the clock. 2nd down. Ball at the 11-yard line, so they could get a first down.
I don't know how that play only took 3 seconds off the clock, Steve.
Well, it went fast.
Real fast.
In the pistol, Berglund. Now he moves his running back to his left. In the pocket. Thought about taking off running. Flushed out to his left. Under pressure. And the throw. And did he clear the goal line? They're going to say yes. And it'll be a touchdown, Millers. Palamba with the reception. So the score 47-26 with the extra point pending. Haxton on for the extra point as he awaits the snap and the hold. 15 seconds on the game clock. Kick is up, and he's able to get this through. Final seconds of the quarter remaining. It's Owasso 47, Yukon 27. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Caleb Nelly with Tulsa Bone and Joint in Owasso.
And I'm Dr. Ian Goodman with Tulsa Bone and Joint in Owasso, and we are your team physicians for the Owasso Rams.
Hi, I'm Katie Strathy.
And I'm Zach McGinty.
I'm Kate Hayes.
I'm Destry Millsap.
And we are the athletic trainers for the Owasso Rams.
Here's some of the services that we provide in the Tulsa Bone and Joint Athletic Training Facility.
We're back once again in the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. The Yukon Millers able to move the ball down the field and put some more points on the scoreboard, but it is a 47-27 lead in favor of the Owasso Rams, looking to take home their 8th consecutive victory and finish the regular season 8-2 with a perfect district slate, 7-0.
Axton will kick off once again, and it'll be a high onside. This one goes out of bounds. Penalty against Yukon, and a late hit by Owasso. Yeah, we're going to get flagged for that one. Very unnecessary, as the ball was way out of bounds, and one of the Ram players, we'll say, blocked one of the Yukon players.
Might have been a smidge after the whistle.
So the referees will have to talk about this one. Both teams have 2 timeouts, Jared. With 15 seconds left, Yukon could take both timeouts and extend this ball game.
They could. I wish they wouldn't.
Yeah, no.
I'd like to get out of here in the next 5 minutes, Steve. We're talking about playoff scenarios, and I think what's most important is that the Rams have earned that first week bye because, again, as healthy as you are, it's still the 10th week of the season.
Right.
You're going to be banged up. You need that extra. You get a free bye week that only a handful of teams get in the entire class, and so you've got to take advantage of that, and I think that's what the Rams will try to do here this next week.
District championship clinched last week. And so really, Jared, the Rams, knowing that this game didn't have a lot of meaning, came in, I thought, very well prepared, a good game plan. And I think for the most part, all night long have been very focused and have executed very well. Well, this penalty is going to back the Rams all the way inside their 20-yard line. They're going to line up in victory formation and take a knee. That should be all they need to do, as this one will run out, and Owasso will finish the season 8-2 with a 47-27 victory here in Yukon over the Millers. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, come back and look at some numbers and wrap this up for you. This has been Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it loving others. Spend it knowing you are loved. Spend it nourishing your body. Spend it strengthening your soul. Spend it planning out every little detail. Spend it knowing you're part of a bigger plan. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
The Folds of Honor exists to meet sacrifice with hope. When U.S. service members and first responders are killed or disabled, the Folds of Honor steps in with life-changing scholarships for their spouse and children. This noble mission holds the power to unite Americans as we link arms and pledge our unwavering support to those who protect our freedom and our families. Join us.
My experience coming to the dealership was very friendly, very supportive, and they treated me like family, treated me like just one of their own. They made it pretty easy to learn how to buy a truck for like a first-time car owner. Knowing that I have a place where my truck will be taken care of by some great people over there, it makes me feel pretty good.
I've been here different times of the day. Mornings, everybody's kind of getting up, but everybody, when I've walked in, has a smile on their face. Afternoon, it seems like the smile never went away. Coming somewhere where it's honest and friendly and you become part of a family when you buy here and they understand your needs.
Find your
And for the final time in the regular season, we welcome you back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth. Jared Gallagher and Steve Mowry with you here as the Owasso Rams defeat the Yukon Millers 47-27. It is the 21st consecutive district victory for the Owasso Rams dating back to 2023. And that wraps up 2 perfect district slates, going 7-0 last year and 7-0 this year for the Rams. And Steve, obviously things to clean up, but another pretty dominant game here for the Rams over a Westside ball club in Yukon.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, how the Rams came in, one at the end of the season game. You've already clinched the district. You know that you're playing an opponent that you should be able to come in and defeat, but you still have to come in and take care of business. I thought the coaching staff tonight did a great job of preparing the ball team, and offensively, Josh Blankenship had a great offensive plan, I thought. Coach Neal defensively had a great game plan, and really, when you look at all 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, if Owasso can clean up the penalties, again, I don't know if they reached double digits
10
or not,
for 105.
but again, we need to go back and check. That's like 5 or 6 games this year, that 4 or 5 that they've hit double digits in penalties, and so you look at the yardage that you're losing in penalties, and as we get deeper in the playoffs, we're not going to be able to make those kinds of mistakes and survive.
Yeah, as we look over the numbers here, Steve, some crazy numbers. Yukon, 22 first downs, Owasso just 12. And that kind of shows you the different styles of play there. Long and methodical drives there for the Millers, and the Rams, scoring quickly, moving the ball quickly, and big chunks of yardage. 28 rushes for 197 for the Rams, 33 for just 48 yards for Yukon. They average more than 200 yards on the ground a game, and the Rams holding them to just 48 for the game.
Yeah.
Passing the ball for the Rams, another efficient night for Drew Frankenfield, 12 of 19, 190 yards and 3 touchdowns. For Yukon, 18 of 31 for 238 yards, but had an interception to go with a touchdown. Berglund, there we go. They kind of split between the two. We'll get to the individuals here in a minute. Starting field position for the Owasso Rams, the 44-yard line. Yukon, the 22. Penalties, 10 for 105 for the Owasso Rams. Yukon, 8 for 45 yards. Time of possession, a big disparity there. Rams with 19 minutes of possession time. Yukon with almost 29 minutes of possession time, which we kind of figured that was going to happen. Rams 3 of 7 on third downs, but 1 of 1 on fourth down conversions. Yukon 5 of 11 on third down conversions and 1 of 1. So, usually where the Owasso Rams are really good, they gave up about 50% of the third down conversions there to Yukon. Individually for the Rams, we're rushing the ball. Another tremendous night for Jaden Hall, 17 rushes, 113 yards and a touchdown. Jason Mojica had the 1 rush, 47 yards and a touchdown. Christopher Ferris had 4 really tough rushes for 20 yards. Receiving the ball for the Rams, Wilson, 4 catches, 97 yards and a touchdown. Tay Bethel, 6 catches for 38 yards. Jaden Hall, 2 catches, 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the Yukon Millers, it was Shelburne leading the way in the rushing game. He had 17 rushes for 41 yards, and really that's about it. Jones was sacked several times, negative 10 yards. Again, the passing for Yukon was split. Jones was 8 of 20 for 109 and an interception. Berglund, 10 of 12, very efficient, 129 yards and a touchdown. And leading the way for the Millers receiving was Khalil. He had 4 catches for 81 yards. Yebbet had 3 for 40. Shelburne had 3 for 19. And Palumba, 6 for 75 in the touchdown there at the end of the game. So all that said, Steve, I've got an idea for the Tulsa Accident Care Center drive of the game. For me, would you like me to go on this?
Yeah, I'm going to let you have this.
I'm going to go third quarter, right after the block punt for the safety. The Rams go on a 12-play, 75-yard drive. Very methodical, very dominating on that drive, capped off by the Elon Reagan 1-yard touchdown rush.
Or fumble recovery.
Into the end zone.
It's a big man touchdown, no matter
We're
how
giving
you
it to
look
him,
at
baby.
That's exactly right. So they'll have some fun in the film room looking at that as they get ready for playoff action. But a fun night for the big guy.
That's your drive of the game, brought to you by Tulsa Accident Care Center, getting you back in the game after life's biggest hits. Tulsa's best auto injury recovery starts and ends at Tulsa Accident Care Center. Now, Steve, it's time for your favorite part of the night, the Mowry Funeral Service final word.
Well, we've talked about it all night. Execution was good. Drew Frankenfield, I think this gets lost a little bit, Jared. We talk about the skilled receivers, but Drew Frankenfield has been doing an outstanding job of managing the football game, finding his open receivers, making good decisions, and if the offense can execute this way, again, Coach Blankenship knows he can go to his pocket and pull out that running game. This offensive line just doing an outstanding job, and with Elon Reagan in the backfield as essentially a giant fullback lead blocker, that's going to be hard for teams to figure out and hard to stop. On the other side, defensively, like the way that the Rams are attacking, playing aggressive. We've seen Owasso defenses before play on their heels and let the attack come to them, but this defense brings the attack to the football. And it's hard for us sometimes to call who makes the tackle because there are 4, 5, and 6 shirts
so
around
impressive.
the football. So like what we're doing, again, not to sound over repetitive, got to clean up the penalties because the penalties that we're committing right now are against teams that I think with the ball club that we have is able to overcome that. But you and I both know there's a couple of teams down the stretch that if you make those kind of mistakes, they're going to make you pay for it. And so if we can get focused and clean that up, I think this team has a really good chance to make a run back to a state championship.
Quickly, congratulations, Jaden Hall. 10 games in the regular season, 10 100-yard rushing performances.
3 touchdowns tonight.
Very impressive.
Yeah, he just gets better. It seems like he's one of those running backs that the deeper into the game he gets, the stronger he gets. So a very good performance tonight by this Ram. Special teams. You get the block punt for the safety. You got a block extra point. You recover an onside kick. I mean, those are the little things that you have to do to be successful and continue this run.
The Rams finished the regular season 8-2 off the back of this 47-27 victory. Steve, why don't you close it out for us here?
Well, we just want to thank all of our listeners for joining us here throughout the season. We're going to be off next week, so join us in 2 weeks as the Rams. We don't know who they will be hosting, but they will be hosting a playoff game back at Owasso in 2 weeks, and we hope that you can join us there. I want to thank Brock Crawford and our Owasso Sports Network crew, Johnny Dash, and the gang doing an outstanding job bringing you the live stream for Rob Williams here doing a fantastic job punching the numbers for my wingman, Jared Gallagher. I'm Steve Mowry, and this has been a production of your Owasso Sports Network. Have a great weekend, everyone.